National anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That's the way you want to kick off a Super Saturday in Texas. Cassie O'Brien with the tremendous rendition of the Star Spangled Banner as we await this contest between the Washington Freedom and the Texas Super Kings. Aman Patel joined alongside Danny Morrison. Danny, it's set to be another great doubleheader day of action.
Well, a biggie this one here in match 27, of course, because both sides very desperate to get the 2 points here and do it well. Try and help that net run rate kick up, because it'll be just this whole cluster of points and teams trying to qualify for those 4 posies. Of course, 2 miss out. At the moment, the Super Kings are lying at the foot of the table.
The Washington Freedom find themselves in a difficult position as well, an unusual position for them at this stage, towards the bottom of the table. They've been in the playoffs every single year of this competition. And you can see them, they are hunting their way to 10 points. They do have a game after this, so an opportunity to get to 12 and almost guarantee their spots. But it starts with today, a win against the home side.
And also, look at these guys in yellow. They've had a bit of time out. This is the first time we're seeing them here at Grand Prairie. This is their home venue, the Texas Super Kings. Here we are on Saturday. We've had games Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And so they've had a lot of time off. Let's see if that has helped the Texas Super Kings in preparation and getting over some niggles. Guys that play so much cricket on the circuit, they can come with niggles, understandably. But let's see if it's helped those in yellow to have some time out to rev up for this contest here this afternoon.
I was hearing from Shubham Ranjane, this team hasn't played since July 5th. And the captain as well at the middle said, yeah, everyone's enjoyed some time off, got some work done himself. And he's someone who comes in with a big bag of tricks and runs alongside his young partner, Saiteja Mukamala, who's really found himself this season, a half century for the first time in Cognizant MLC.
And they're up against a wily customer, Netravelka. Yeah, pretty good numbers, economy, and you bowl up front or you bowl in the power play, and then you go and bowl at the end overs in the death, you can disappear.
Cricket is unleashed in what is a must-win for the hometown Texas Super Kings. Faf du Plessis to take the first ball against Saurabh Netravalkar. And off the mark immediately are the Super Kings and their captain. Busy times for the umpires. Chris Taylor back in action. Jamaican standing on for his 45th T20 game alongside Rushane Samuels.
Bouchang, he's an old boy of Jamaica. And of course, he resides these days in the US of A. So hence his geography and qualification. Hussein Samuels, fit young man. Same with Chris Taylor. Calling him the whippet. See him at breakfast, he needs to eat more.
Mukamala will be off the mark. I thought you were talking about his golf game. Chris Taylor, he whips it out there on the tee box.
Okay, so you've hung out a bit, haven't you? You've been with the umpires and got out there and lost a few golf balls yourself. How's it been?
It's been all right. Lost a fair more than a few, but always down to have some good fun, especially when we're out and about in Dallas. So many great scenes. And the Texas Super Kings have got up to quite a bit themselves. Shubham Ranjay tell me they're playing some pickleball on the days off in the week leading into this contest. We heard from Saurabh Netravalkar about how important it would be to utilize the dryness of the surface. Marco Janssen back in to the team today. They'll have a big say in today's affair.
Well, we're going on about height helps, and it creates real variation. Sometimes it might bounce a little bit more because of the height and the steep bounce, and other times it might just pan out and just be a bit flattened, so it unsettles the batter. At the moment, both these batters, they'll be happy to do that. And you mentioned this, Aman, how dry it is, and it really is quite devoid of live grass. This 22 yards, Grand Prairie, we've got 2 matches on it, matches 27 and 28. It does tend to just be a little bit more slicker, as we know, in night conditions. Subtly more cooler, and of course the heat's evaporating any moisture out of the pitch, and that creates a little bit of, well, just a bit of slowness sometimes, but the ball might grip a bit more in the day.
Last couple of days, we've seen a big disparity in the ground of really short, what would be an offside for the right-handed batter. But today, it's evened out a bit more as we move to pitch number 5. You have a look at it there. It's 240 straight down the ground, but it's those square boundaries. 223 and then 210 out into the offside. So a slight disparity, but not as drastic as what we've seen in the couple of days previous. Solid start for the Freedom and the Super Kings. 6 from the first over.
Well, talk about the ultimate rotation. 6 singles, and just keep nudging it around and moving it. So that's good for both Mukamala and Duplessis. They like that, just to work it around, get the feel bat on ball. It's quite important. Opening batters will always tell you that they really do want to feel that early in their innings if they can.
Sweltering day in Grand Prairie as Marco Janssen comes back to the Washington Freedom starting 11 for the first time since June 27th. It's quite a wait for him, especially when you consider in the years previous he's been a staple in the 11, but he's back with a chance in a must-win game.
Yeah, man, sometimes it's about the balance of your side, but I know with teams, they like to keep a lot of stuff in-house, and he may have had a niggle that we're not quite aware of, and then he's kept to himself and the management, just in terms of conditions and where he's at and saving himself, because they were starting pretty positively. They went to Washington, they were up the top of the table for some time, or there and thereabouts, in the top 3 anyway, and now they've just slid down to number 5.
Early signs of movement from Janssen. Also the first 2 dots of the day.
Yeah, Fuff will be aware of Janssen's ability. Try to go seam it. Look at that swing, beautiful, and dips it to Yorker length, right on that pop increase line in the block hole. And another day you get that little bit straighter and just curves a bit more in the air, and you could be in business by disrupting those stumps.
He's gone over the top. Mukamala will bring up the first boundary and bring it up in a big way. It's gone all the way for 6.
Both these players will be wary of the talent that is Janssen, but this is a goodie. It really is. Mukamala just waiting. He got it in his area. We've seen batters do that here at Grand Prairie and pop this over the boundary nice and straight. With the breeze, I might add, that helps.
For all the talk about Mukamala's half-century and his run of form out in California, it was his opening stint in Dallas where he struggled. Just 18 runs across 3 games.
It's a lovely reply from the bowler. Another occasion, get a little tickle through to the keeper there, but this time a bit of fresh air and fortunate for Mukamala. Yes, some good consistent stuff there, that 80 and 37, 38, 36. We were wondering if he was going to go better than 30. It was his top score, was I think 38, 37 for a while, and he did well getting that 80 against LA.
And this is what you're talking about, Danny. The extra height of Marco Janssen, creating some extra lift.
I like it. Yeah, best score now of 80. Match 18 against the Knight Riders at 55 was extraordinary. And you think it was tough going because at Pomona, it is a whole brand new stadium and the pitch was a little challenging for the batters. But they still came second. We've seen guys get hundreds and losing causes. Does happen, Aman.
Mukamala will hold on to strike. Close of 2 overs, it's 13 for none. Some activity out on the race course next door. Look at that, the horses out and about. Danny, you got a horse? You picking any horses here? Anyone you like the side of?
Well, I could probably hop on one. Lone Star Park, what a ripper. I'll get on there, jockey extraordinaire.
Lone Star Park, just next door. And the horses, they're out and about. They're training, they're ready to go.
You'd be a bit better jockey than me, a lot leaner, a lot more lighter. I'd be up in the boxes, corporate boxes, and a bit of cold bubbly stuff be nice. Oh, look out. What a vista, right next door. Don't you love a drone cam to show off the whole of the property here out at Grand Prairie? Stunning. Let's get there. Sorry, I'm leaving the comm box, got to go.
Danny will miss you, but you got to stay. You got to stay put. At least.
No, you won't.
No, we will. 100%. Everyone's going to miss you.
Well, hopefully here, when you look at Dorcas, they're opening up with 2 left armers. Washington, love a breakthrough here.
Yeah, the third one used in just 3 overs. Nethervalker, Janssen, Darwish. Six wickets in his major league career. He's been a good addition for the Freedom this season into the team for the first time.
He's a strong fellow, strapping. His batting's got a lot better too in recent years. He lopes in.
You see Faf du Plessis trying to get down the track and attack. We've seen so many batters use that method really across the board here in Major League Cricket.
Yeah, it'd be fair to say too, a little bit slower. We know this. Day games tends to be here at Grand Prairie. The bowlers with these cutters, look at scrambled seam. This one's bounced all right. Zipped it on through with a scrambled ball from the release. You understand Faf wanting to get on with things, and he has to inside the power play. Oh, good hustle here. Direct hit would have been interesting.
So important for after Duplessis' wicket as well. We talk about the struggle the Texas Super Kings, why they're sitting at the bottom of the table. And Duplessis has a big hand to play. When he doesn't score, there has been a lack of runs outside of a guy like Mukamala. Riley Rousseau's really had the one innings and has disappeared. So they need this opening stand to go big. Interestingly enough, in the third over, the slower balls already come out, Danny.
Yeah, you've got to have a variety of these. It's almost like you've got to have 3 or 4 of them up your sleeve, as it were, your bag of kit. Split fingers, knuckleballs, rolling your fingers down the side and breaking your wrist either way. As tennis ball bounces into the surface, it loops. And within, you know, the wide restrictions and height factor, it's so important.
Just maneuvered into the onside for 1. Just finds 4 from the over. Do the Super Kings. 3 overs gone. It's 17 for none. Lovely Grand Prairie Stadium, the home of Major League Cricket. One of them now, but the OG, they call it.
Ground staff have got it right there with the mowing, haven't they? Nice little ring, lawns, the outfield, lovely.
Crowd coming in, expect just upwards of 1,500 in for today's first matchup, and hopefully more to continue to roll in throughout the day. Helped over the top, just using the extra pace and bounce of a Janssen, and it'll fly all the way.
This is so Faf du Plessis, renowned for this little swivel around the corner, just helping it, not trying to belt it too hard. Be aware of what Janssen's about. There you go, just a little scoop flick. Knows that fine leg's up. Yeah. Goes nicely all the way. Bowler under the pump.
Important to start the over with that boundary. We're just talking about before the start of the 4th over that Super Kings only been going just under a run a ball. So trying to just add a little bit more initiative in this Lexus power play.
Well, it seems to be really since the COVID years, Aman, the game has changed appreciably in T20, where batting sides in the first 6 just come at the bowlers. They really do. They want to attack. They want to just absolutely smash the first 36 balls out of the ballpark if they can.
Absolutely gorgeous from Faf du Plessis, as straight as you like for 4.
And right on cue. So we've had a 6, a 2, and now a 4, and there's a dozen scored off the first half of the over. And that's what it's about. Only 2 fielders allowed outside that 30-yard circle, the restricting scenario that is T20. So good there. In fact, all the top order have to be. And he's so good there, sitting in the seats and that whistle in the sun. Vitamin D factor.
And then has the cleverness to do this, Faf du Plessis. And again, because there's so much onus on this partnership to go big, yes, you want to belt every ball, but when you've capitalized, you've got the 12 runs from the over, take your single. Don't add the extra risk.
Yeah, 100%. It's about batting smart, and particularly these two. Buff to do that with Mukamala. Just to being sensible in who you're up against, which particular bowler that you're facing as a batter in the first 6 overs.
We'll just stay fair. That Will Mukamala's not too pleased with it.
I tell you, he's not. It's Faf du Plessis. He's looking over. He's looking over. Oh, yeah, I reckon. Mr. Taylor's been a bit lenient there. Maybe got the word. But Faf du Plessis is not too happy, and having a little go, and he's wandered around. Classic. Yeah, probably was a wide, but a bit of leniency from Mr. Taylor there at square leg.
Gets out of the over, Marco Janssen, with a couple remitly speedy deliveries. Close of over 4, 31 for none.
Super Kings Freedom on now, then the Orcas Unicorns to follow. 2 more matches for you tomorrow. Tickets.majorleaguecricket.com. 2 overs of the Lexus power play remaining, and 2 very important ones as Nachovalka comes back. And his teammate and international friend takes him on straight away.
What a great shot that is from Saiteja Mukamalla. Just stood and delivered. Came on at the bat beautifully, just hit through the line. Was able to free his arms. Super Kings have gotten off to a stellar start.
And because his 2 deep fielders, folks, are square in the Lexus power play, Mukamala can commit to that shot down the ground. Sweet sound off the bat.
He likes that shot, likes the pull shot. Picked it up well this time. Anticipated it almost. The previous ball is pitched up. This is going to be slightly further back. And because the wicket was holding just a touch, he can afford to play this shot. He was ready for it.
After a couple of those positive shots from Mukamala, they've now made a field change. So the point comes in on the offside. Both fielders on the leg side, outside the 30-yard circle. Deep square, deep mid. And it's a bit of a straighter line. I haven't seen much swing.
Yeah, there isn't much swing, unfortunately, today. Also, wicket's a little bit dry. And he's overstepped. So it's going to be a big over. Already got 10 of it so far. Clever batting also from Saiteja. 6 off the first ball. Definitely overstepped. Then got a couple runs. Then rotated the strike, making sure that there's the potential of getting a 10+ run over.
He's got him once, Nachovalka, but Faf also scores heavily against him. One thing we always see from Faf du Plessis against bowlers that can hit that length, use his feet in the power play to try to force the ball off that 6 to 8 meter length. Free hit to come.
Nicely done from Nachovalka. Wide Yorker almost.
And yeah, he got the 6 in the last game, but for the most part, his season has been trending in the right direction. But you can just see in the middle there, folks, a number of 30+ scores, and then was finally able to get past it and get that big innings. He's doing all the hard work to get in. They need him to go big again, along with Faf. That was a big strike. This one might be even better, you know. 2 6s, both over long off. Pure class.
Yeah, how about that for An action replay. This one even better, even bigger. And playing with the swing. And he's hit it so cleanly. What a shot from Saiteja Mukamalla.
Thinking back to last season, he's been always so strong through the cover region. This is the evolution he's spoken about, having Faf du Plessis for the last 3 to 4 years. Anytime you speak to him, Robbie, he continuously speaks on how much he's grown as a person and a player being in this Super King setup. Didn't do much in the first 2 years, but it was an investment for this franchise. He was the investment.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's the Super Kings way. I like to invest in the youth and allow them to earn their spots almost. And Saiteja has certainly done that. 19 innings, 424 runs. The strike rate will improve as time goes on. He's in the groove.
Change of pace from Natravalka to end the 5th, 49 for none.
Runs from that previous over. Natravalkar. Don't often see him being very expensive, but Saiteja, having played with him for such a long time, knows his approach and can anticipate that.
They've only won once in the 5 times they've set a total this season, the Texas Super Kings. Also coming into this game with 3 consecutive losses, so a few things going against them, but we've seen things change quickly. If they win these 2 games, today and tomorrow, they're in a good position to qualify. It's going to be Ben Dwarshuis to finish the Lexus power play. We've seen real commitment from Saiteja Mukamalla.
You know what's impressive about this batting, Nick? The fact that he's read this wicket and he knows that the ball's holding in the wicket, so he's kind of almost anticipating to play the cross-batted shots. So if it's just slightly short of length, he's pouncing on it. You can see he's almost kind of planting his front foot and going through the line with a semi-horizontal bat. This is great batting from Saiteja.
3 sixes in the last 2 overs now, all in the V, straight.
Gotta love this about him. He's got a 6 off the first ball, then rotates the strike. Almost kind of assuring that he intends to kind of bat through. He intends to make this a big over.
The intent. Real conviction in those shots, whereas if you think back to the beginning of the season, he was dismissed a few times, pushing at the ball, didn't fully commit. There's Faf with the use of the feet again. When have we ever seen a power play being bowled by left-arm seamers? All 6 overs by the left-arm seam.
Rodders, time for you to work your magic, brother. The firm nod of approval, Nick, when that question came out. Right, let's find out. It is a unique situation, isn't it? 3 fast bowlers who open the bowling for Freedom. All of them left-arm fast bowlers.
Long on in, cover back.
He's been really good. These are all his 6s in the power play. He loves width outside the off stump. And he looks to hit that ball on the offside. So there's power involved, there's timing involved, but there's finesse as well with that. He's not trying to overhit the ball, he's trying to time the ball well. And that balance of power and timing is what produces those results, which he's able to, at this age, being able to pull out is very impressive.
the slower nature of surface there. A good sign this for the Super Kings, Robbie, because their success in the Lexus power play has been coinciding with the results in games. The 3 games they've won this season, 39 for 1, 48 for none, and 89 for 1 in the Lexus power play. When they've lost games, struggle to maintain this opening pair and maintain wickets early. 10 wickets lost in 4 games. So just one small check in the box.
Yeah, you'll have to repeat that. That's a great observation, Nick. The fact that the starts are so important. If you notice what they're doing here, it's traditional T20 cricket here. Get a boundary in an over, rotate the strike, keep the dot balls to a minimum. You've seen in the last 2 overs, that's exactly what they've done. You can see there, he's got 6 and then he's got 1, 1, 1, 1, and then a wide ball. That's already 11 runs. And that's exactly what they did in the previous over. 6, a 2, and then 1, 1, 1, no ball. Got 18 in that.
Fielders there, but the wind always helps the ball traveling into that side of the ground. It is 66 for none after the Lexus power play.
You gotta love it when a youngster comes out there and bats this way. When you've got the likes of a Faf du Plessis and the non-strikers in. Again shot, again going back to his favorite shot. He picks this up so well and he's timed it really well as well. Despite the ball coming slow off the wicket, he timed it really well.
You ask Faf du Plessis at the toss after losing it, if he takes 66 without loss in the power play, he'd be amazed. So off to an excellent start, but now they've got to contend with some spin. Nikhil Chowdhury, who dismissed Sateja Mukamala in Auckland when the 2 teams met.
Yeah, Nikhil Chowdhury has been impressive in the Cognizant MLC this season. He's been someone who's been very good with the bat. A lot of conviction when he bats. Also very impressive with the ball. They'll push for 2, but they'll get 4. That's how well he hit it. It's pitched right up. And yet again, another boundary of the first ball of the over for the Super Kings.
Continuing that intent now, post the Lexus power play, even with the field spread. It's great gap finding.
Yeah, go cricket this. And one of the things about Nikhil Chowdhury is that he's a lot like Ravindra Jadeja. Doesn't like to give the batters time between balls. He rushes through his over. There have been 4 times in this innings so far that they've scored a boundary off the first ball of the over.
Oh, he's going to go over cover.
They'll push for 2 here.
What now?
They won't get it. The shorter end.
You often hear, Robbie, as you would know, T20 coaches talking about if you have the opportunity to get the boundary early, make it into a big over, like they did in the last 2 overs of the Lexus power play. First and last ball, scoring boundaries. So it's been an excellent start, and in the middle overs where they've struggled, it's going to do them a world of good to have 2 guys set and striking it well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The key word there is being set as a batter.
Came back well. 73 for none. Lexus power play. We've grown used to seeing these two dominate it.
They've played some really good cricket. 4 out of 6 times in the power play. They got a boundary at the first ball of the over. Great batting from Saiteja Mukamalla. Very impressive. Just the way he batted, his approach has been really, really good. Now, what's important is that he kicks on like he did in the previous game when he got the 80.
Joan was wicketless in the first 5 games of this season. Scalped 6 in the last 3. He's been using this angle from around the wicket, trying to go wide. Let's go down to Anika.
Yeah, the game has been so exciting here so far, but something even more exciting are some of the people that I found here from the crowd. I'm with Tracy here. Tracy, what has brought you to cricket and specifically here in the Grand Prairie?
I just love cricket, and it's super exciting that they play T20 cricket. And we live in Houston, and it's so close to us, so why wouldn't we come?
Yeah, and have you been anywhere else in the world? How did you kind of get into cricket in the first place?
My husband and I took a cruise a few years ago, and the T20 tournament was on, and that was basically the only thing on. So in the afternoons, like when he would take a nap, I would watch cricket. And then we came back. I loved it. The next year we went to Lord's to see Australia and South Africa play. And then we came here a few weeks after we got back from our cruise because we found it in Dallas, which was so exciting. And I don't know, I recorded on Willow. I love it.
Yeah, and you're watching so much cricket. You're traveling to all these places. Any specific players that you have a fonding of, or any of them that you really like that happen to be here today?
I love Marco Jansen. I like Steve Smith. I like Duplessis. There's a lot of players on all the teams. Really, it's neat to see the international players come, and it's kind of like an all-star game because you get to see all your favorite players that play internationally right in front of you, and you don't have to go to England or Europe to do it. So super cool.
Yeah, definitely. And if you stick around for the next few games, which I think you might want to because more of your favorite players will come on. So good to talk to you, and see you guys back upstairs.
The boundaries continue. And hitting the ball straight to negate that win factor also continues from these two.
Yeah, clean. Pitched up and hit with a swing. Just going past tall Jansen. That was close for sure.
Owen bowled a couple of dots to Faf from over the wicket, and then he switched to a round and got hit for 6.
Going well here, the Super Kings, 10 runs and over at the moment. I want to get to about 180 or so at least from here. Because it's going to be difficult when a new batter comes on a bat, because the wicket's holding a little bit. It'll take a little while for a batter to get set. Now that these two are set, try and kick on as much as they can.
Just be 1-9 from it, 82 for none.
All comes down to the final 2 days. For the Super Kings, the equation, in some ways, the simplest of them all. They've got to win both. Can't win 2. They will not be in the top 4. As Rachin Ravindra come on to bowl some slow left arm. Tend to see all the spin bowled from that
Lovely, Rach, lovely boy.
far end of the ground, the river end. one thing that is impressing me, as it was Robin Etapa et al. This afternoon, Saiteja Mukamala. He's dominated this partnership, which has been a good one. So for the Texas Super Kings to hang around here in Cognizant MLC for season 4, they need this partnership to grow and find 2 wins on the final 2 days. To the call from Duplessis. Mukamala sends him back because it's a left-handed thrower.
Lovely, Emma!
Perfect time for me to welcome Anika Kalan. Anika, firstly, good afternoon to you. Saw you up in the crowd there, nice and warm.
Good afternoon, Lenny. Yeah, I was in the crowd. It's really good to see a good crowd pulling up. You know, when this partnership gets going, a lot of loud whistles for TSK.
Yeah, with that heat factor, it's going to be tough work, not just for the fielders and the bowlers, but the batters as well, to manage their fatigue. Such a good partnership, 85 off 55. Every member of the crowd pretty much utilizing the shade where they can get it. As Duplessis goes downtown, gets a really good piece of it straight as an arrow, and that will mean that Chris Taylor puts his arms aloft.
Yeah, the good thing about this heat is that if you hit shots like that, you can just save your legs. That is the 10th boundary brewing between these two partnerships in the middle. 10th boundary, 6 more runs added to the TSK side, and that one very powerful.
Yeah, already 8 sixes between the two of them, and only 2 fours. So really good power on show from the Super Kings. End of the 9th, 92 for none. Getting to the stage really with Duplessis, where every single time he takes the field, he'll break another record now. Only man in T20 history with more than 100 sixes after the age of 40. Love that feature we've been running on him during the season, where he talks about the things he needs to tick to continue playing. Such a student of the game. Adore watching him. For the Freedom, they've had their problems this year with their bowlers.
Yeah, there goes those 10 boundaries here so far, and a little bit of an issue having so many already.
And the overs from this end, from the racecourse end, it was great to see those shots of the horses out at Lone Star Park. So we get one more look at the maximum. It's perfect execution. Didn't go too early, so Ravindra left it in the same spot, and then a full extension. I think this is a good surface. Get used to good surfaces here, but I think it's a particularly good one. Straight up towards our cameramen. Doing an outstanding job up there on the gantry. Lads, well avoided. Is this going to carry? Oh, I think it will, and it's a very good catch. Excellently held by Janssen, and right on the cusp of a boundary that would have got him to 50. Mukamala's going to have to go.
Yeah, smiles for Washington Freedom fans. And I'm sure there's not too many whistles blowing out there in the crowd right now for those supporting the men in yellow. Yeah, he went to it well, but the way Janssen just got his hands under that, it will be a Cognizant clutch catch. Very confident about the whole process in total, and that will be the first wicket down for the Super Kings.
Yeah, really well held, and it will not just bring the breakthrough, but it will also bring about the first drinks break. Super Kings, 93 for 1. So the Super Kings will be pleased with their start, but just on the verge of getting to that break. They've had their opening partnership broken. What a wonderful catch, well held by Janssen. What would have been an 8th T20 50 for Saiteja Mukamala, just one boundary short of it, but Duplessis is still there, and plenty of batting to come. For the Freedom, their bowlers, well, they have plenty of options, they always do, but with the exception of Nikhil Chowdhury's economical over, most have been going around the park a little bit. Netravalkar in particular, that second over of his was taken down by Saiteja Mukamala.
Yeah, we just see one bowler, Owen, the pick of the bowlers for the Washington Freedom, to take Saiteja Mukamala. But before that, he got off to a flying start. This amazing use of the wrists and just accessing so many areas of the ground. You definitely liked playing a little bit of pace from Saurabh Netravalkar, dispatching those outside of the ground, and very confident. Not a single life other than a catch that we saw a bit later. But a very powerful start from these two out there. And as he goes, another one comes in.
Yeah, certainly the kind of day where you're going to need some assistance from your teammates. Yasir Mohammed out with the ice packs onto the shoulder, and the same there with Keshav Maharaj doing the job on the back of the neck, on the forehead. It is more than a touch shot today. Another factor you've got to remember is the Super Kings will play again tomorrow. Now, not during the day game, they'll play in the floodlit match, the nighttime game, but need to preserve their energies and find a way to 2 wins. Everyone taking shade however they can. I think it's up and right around 100 degrees Fahrenheit today, so yeah, certainly get your hydration in if you're in the crowd, but the action will remain red hot on the field. Now that's the projected score. Had that really good start and that good platform, and the fireworks that could be supplied by the likes of Donovan Ferreira in particular, maybe Calvin Savage and Shubham Ranjane too, and the two at the crease as Riley Rousseau now joins Faf du Plessis. They need to capitalise upon this bright start as Mitchell Owen has the first wicket.
Yeah, Rousseau now brought onto the crease. I think what's so positive about this new change is that lefty-righty combination that we're now going to see. Obviously, it looks like CSK is going at a pretty strong start with already 94 and not even the first 10. So Freedom, definitely something to keep in mind as they continue this.
Just need to be conscious as well, don't they, of not losing du Plessis right behind this wicket of Mukamala. Saiteja will be frustrated with himself because it was there to be hit. Went deep in the crease, got the full toss, but I think he wanted to go a little squarer. Was probably trying to go over extra cover, but he brought long off into play, and very well judged take.
Yeah, usually you have Jansen there to get those balls that are going over his head, but really good smooth collection. Those fingers just getting under the ball and completing that catch.
Yeah, and for a tall man, 6'5", 6'6", to get down that low, that seamlessly was impressive. Not quite at 100, but think about from this position, you don't want any less than 200. Seen the average score in and around that 180 marker, and we've seen the 180s get defended the last 3 games, albeit with a few twists and turns across 3 fantastic matches. Can the Super Kings cash in? Just the single and get us to the halfway stage of this first innings. Texas Super Kings 97 for 1.
Beautiful scenes here at the Grand Prairie in Texas. It is a scorching hot day, but I mean the batters are making the full use of it, just saving their legs, dispatching as much as they can to the boundary, as we can see from that economy from the Washington Freedom side. Owen with that first wicket in, bagging Saiteja Mukamala and having a pretty strong economy of 7.
I think the overs a spin from the top end of the ground going to be important. Chowdhury with his leg breaks, and then Rachin Ravindra being rotated after the end of that Lexus power play. Such a good start, such a good platform. They've got to think big. They've got to think a 200 plus. Edged away. Outfield's quick, and Melantha's got a hair after that, but it'll be a chase in vain. 100 comes up thanks to just how rapid this Grand Prairie outfield is.
101 comes up, and 49 of those runs are just off the bat of Faf du Plessis. This outfield is just lightning fast. Not the area that he wanted to access, but runs for him and runs for the Super Kings in total.
Chowdhury not happy with the lack of a dive. Edged again, and he's just come a little finer. That'll be 50 for Faf du Plessis. 31 balls it's taken. Remarkably, the 84th of his career, 7th of his MLC career, but when he goes to 50 in Cognizant MLC cricket, he often converts. So before today, it was 650s and 400s. He'd love to double that up.
Yeah, absolutely sensational from the man who is class himself, always leading from the front, and obviously a pretty proud dugout that you're going to be seeing there.
Du Plessis not even considering the second. Yeah, we've come across two pitches, haven't we, today? So that real disparity we saw for the last two match days, with much shorter offside, as Du Plessis would look right now, but crucially from the racecourse end, the much shorter leg side for the right-handers. That's not in play. We're not quite absolutely in the middle of the square. I think it's one across to get equidistant, but pretty much there. And Du Plessis will know he's got to conserve that energy to find a way to drive this team total. Really good position the Super Kings have got themselves into. Reminder, if you've just joined us, the Freedom won the toss. They chose to bowl first, so there's been a bit of a differential of opinion between some of the six captains.
Yeah, good to see people from every single team almost in the top 5 leading run scorer. The VTEX leading run scorers, you see Saitesh Mukamala, who just recently was batting out there with Faf du Plessis, but good to see someone so young being so positive in the score.
And Russo will just take a few balls just to get himself in. I think for me, the factor of the power that comes in the Super Kings middle order, particularly Ferreira, I just feel like it's a Donovan Ferreira day. He may punch down the ground this one. Oh no, that's not the greatest effort. That'll be 4. He's ended up sliding leg first. Chowdhury can't quite believe it. 2 efforts in the field that didn't please him. 12 off, 109 for 1.
Definitely not a shot that you would expect to go that easily to the boundary. Didn't look to overhit it at all, honestly. Just looked to get a single down the ground. And there we see him just sliding over the ball almost leg first. And Chowdhury's just not going to be happy with that one again.
Wrong sport today, Mitchell. Always good to watch Faf du Plessis. We did get a bit of support there from Mitchell Owen for that last boundary. Not the greatest effort out at long on from the big man. Certainly didn't please Nikhil Chowdhury either. In and around 10 and over, can they keep that consistent all the way through to the slog overs? Bring that Ferreira factor in later. Now Owen's convinced, so too is Rushain Samuel, but it's an immediate review. Owen was the main appeal. Rushain Samuel gave it out, but Riley Rousseau immediately indicated he wanted to use the VTEX DRS.
Leslie to Ajay, we have a player review for caught behind. The original decision is out. I've checked the feet. It's fair delivery. Can you move on to front on, please? Front on coming up. Let's take it back. Forward. Yeah, there's a clear deflection from the arm. Can I have ultra edge just to confirm if there's any glove involved? Standing by on ultra edge. Standing by. Yeah. Still waiting on ultra edge. Comes ultra edge. Forward. Forward. Keep going. There's a gap there on the right, on the left-hand side. Forward. Forward. Off the forearm. Forward. Forward. Yes, off the forearm. I'm satisfied there's no bat or glove involved. Back on field to Rasheen. Rasheen, you have to overturn your not out decision to not out. You are on screen. Make your signal.
Took a little while, but we did get there. And ultimately, the right decision was got to.
Yeah, this is the reason why having powerful technology is so beneficial in this game. Obviously, Rousseau was pretty confident that it went off his forearm.
And he was pointing at it, wasn't he? He was literally saying, no, this has come straight off my forearm. It'll have made a similar noise to the glove. In the air, and he's going to be gone this time. All of that time to survive, to then get out from the very next delivery. Remarkable sequence of 3 balls. Misfield from Owen, given out, reviewed, not out, and now he's gone.
Yeah, you could say Owen definitely had the last laugh of the day between the battle of those two. Pretty straightforward. Outside edge, and good catch there at the end, getting his hands under it. A little bit of a juggle, but good catch by Nature Valker in the end to obviously get a very joyful celebration out of Owen. Rousseau gone for 4, Super Kings are 109 for 2.
Dean Forrester in at number 4, good utility cricketer, another left-hander. Still early in his MLC career, but he's forced his way onto the circuit through some good form in the SA20. Just feel as though that's an important little momentum shift there for the Freedom. 12 from the previous over. After the loss of Mukamala, they're rebuilding, but Rousseau just never looked settled at the crease.
Yeah, it took him a while to get going. Haven't got a single boundary out of him during his time here on the pitch here at Grand Prairie. And that would be his signal back to the dugout. Nature Valkyrie just completing that catch.
Still think it's a good batting surface. You can see just with the pace in it, the way it's carrying through. Plenty of runs within it. It's almost as though you've got to fight the conditions, fight the heats, fight the fatigue to capitalize upon it.
Absolutely, Lenny. I mean, with 2 wickets down, You don't want to just pause there. You're definitely going to have to keep on rebuilding the innings. Obviously, Faf du Plessis is still in there. So he's a man who can lead you through the whole way.
Enjoyed that from Faf. He's done the umpiring for the umpire there. Just calling the wide before it was given. He's going to look at the best of his 50. The 7 boundaries all together. A few moments of not complete fluency as Mukamala kind of took the driver's seat in the partnership, but with him dismissed then, he's kicked into turbo. He's still striking at 160. It shows his effectiveness and his boundary hitting ability.
Yeah, until those boundaries start to flow in again, as the Super Kings would hope, singles are definitely the way to go. A pretty positive over here by Owen so far. So I'm sure this is just where the batters are going to communicate, talk about how to rebuild, what our options are, and when we can start going from here.
We've seen some great catches this season, haven't we? Really have. Netravalkar showing us another one there, even though he had to juggle it. We can just stack him up. Another Cognizant clutch catch. Some of the very best, including a remarkable and reliable Riley Rousseau. Flying Steve Smith after a slip, diving like a goalkeeper. That was at the Coliseum. Garker back here. Sensational. The dashing and flying du Plessis. What about Ian Holland? How good was that?
Yeah, absolutely. And you got Hamilton there in the back with the gloves. Ultimate reliable.
Should be a couple. Yeah, you love a keeper's catch as well, Anika, don't you? Getting inspired as well. The running between the wickets wasn't particularly good there, but they will get home for a couple. End of the 12th, just 5 off that and the wicket. 1-1-4 for 2.
Both of you, please, on the ring. It flies.
To Major League Cricket for the very first time. And Jane, you come here, Jan, sorry, you come for the very first time, but
Yes.
you describe yourself in a different way. Well, how do you describe yourself again?
I'm definitely an Anglophile. Anything to do with England, love, 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 love. I went to England and Scotland in the summer of 1993 with Texas Wesleyan University. I saw cricket little bits. We'd be driving by. I saw it, became fascinated with it, and finally just decided, okay, I need to go to a match. I need to see this for real, a full match right in front of my eyes. I'm positive this will not be my last cricket match. I'm really loving it out here.
So 30 years between when you went to England and Scotland to now. Had any cricket kind of related information between now and then, or is this your first time back into the sport?
Really, probably my first time back into the sport. I every now and then would look up cricket online, just random little Wikipedia bits here and there. But seeing it in person,
She loves it.
got to be a fan for a second. But seeing it in person, I'm understanding it in a completely different way.
Yeah, and we're seeing sixes or home runs, whatever you want to call it, hit all around the ground.
Yes.
What have you enjoyed learning since you come out here?
What I've enjoyed learning is honestly some of the rules, particularly about the bowler not being able to bend their elbow. I just thought that was some quirky little weird way they like to throw the ball, but no, it's the rules. I get it.
And
now.
I tell you what, this bowler as well, he hasn't bent his elbow and he's delivered a wicket. We'll send it back upstairs to see how it all went down.
Forrester, the man to go, just chips it back. Yeah, he'll be well disappointed with that, looking to just work it leg side. shuts the face of the bat a little too early and gets a leading edge. Chowdhury, happiness for him and for the freedom. And off Darren Forrester goes. It's 1-2-1 for 3.
Shubham Ranjane, new man out in the middle. I tell you what, though, you're keeping cool with the most colorful stuff. You got the hat.
Thank you.
You've got the hair's all colorful. What's the story behind all that?
I just love colorful. I love being me. I love just showing up and being who I am. And also didn't have anything Super Kings colors, but I think I'm going to remedy that with a trip over to the shop and get me a shirt. And I know it's going to be an instant conversation starter. People will say, the Super Kings? Who? What? Where? What sport? And I'm happy to spread the good word about cricket and let everybody know they need to come over here to Grand Prairie and see this sport for themselves. It's a sport with a lot of lore, a lot of legend, a lot of misinformation, unfortunately. It does not take 4 days to play one of these matches. That's only in the fancy championship game. So everybody come out, do something different.
Spreading the good word, that's what we do here at Major League Cricket.
Absolutely loving that. Yep, we love it too. We can't stop watching it either.
I love how she said misinformation. And people think that this game takes 4 days. There's just one version of that game that takes 4 or 5 days. The others are all done in a day.
Yeah, how often? Yeah. Oh, is that the one that takes a really long time? No, no, no. Hold on. Let me explain. 1, 2, 3 for 3. Yeah, 123 for 3, the Super Kings, and generally when they do well, it's that man Duplessis, their skipper, who once again today is in the runs up to 58, looking for somebody else to go with him. Right now, had a partner early on. Teja Mukamala, they put on 93. Yeah, he'll also notice anything and everyone who's walking about anywhere close to the sight screen. Let's a look at the wicket.
Yeah, Forrester will be disappointed this one. The previous ball went for 6. And one of the things that Nikhil Chaudhary does very often is he kind of rushes the batter, play each ball. He bowls a lot like Ravindra Jadeja. The batter less time to think. He certainly looked a little rushed in that shot. This is the wickets that fell. Teja Mukamala batted so well. Good catch to dismiss him. This one is a soft dismissal. So was this. Just didn't make sense.
Yeah, wondered as we watched it out the window whether he'd predetermined that he'd just try and work the next one for 1, having hit the one before for 6. More a numbers game that time than playing what was in front of him, because that next one could have also gone.
Yeah, they've done the hard work here. 13.2 was 125 for 3. You just need to keep going this way. Get to 180. 180 would be a very comfortable score, I reckon, on a wicket that's drying and going to continue to dry.
Comfortable and confident in the way that he has been moving. Off du Plessis. Happy with this surface. Yeah, generally you say they need him to be the one up at the front. Certainly to lay the foundation. They've got the likes of Pereira who come in and biff it all over the place. But without that platform, it just jumbles the minds a little bit of those who normally are there to put finishing touches. Then they have to play slightly differently, or vastly so.
Yeah, it's a point in time where you want to build partnerships, don't you? Since he's done all the hard work, it's important that he bats through, and then the others around him rotate around him. All the sixes have pretty much gone down the ground, and Saitya played some really impressive shots inside the power play. The intent has been great from the Super Kings. It's about finishing the job, which we've seen that a lot of the teams over the last few days have not done.
It seems to like this opposition. 5 innings against the Freedom. 100, 55, 69. And there's an 8 there as well. And here he is, 61 not out. 130 for 3. Normally Lions are just called Leo.
He's Leon here.
Yeah, Leon the Lion. That's where they've scored, just generally a whole lot down the ground. Mukamala, du Plessis, they like to play in that region.
I told you. Does rush the batters. That's a good thing to do. Stop him in his tracks.
Bam! Oh, yes! It just bites off the surface and off stump goes out the ground.
What an absolute peach from Chaudhary. Just held in the wicket just a touch. Looked like he played for the leg spinner. Felt like it was the googly. No, actually played probably for the top spinner, and it spun away. Played inside the line. Nikhil Chaudhary gets another one. Gets his second. Gets the big man. He has to go 130 for 4.
Right arm over. 5 to come. Huh? Yeah, for one ball. Later. Yeah.
130 for 4.
Oh!
The
Very good,
confidence
buddy. Very
of
good, boy.
Chowdhury.
Big full
Yeah,
balls
have
this
a look.
now. Big full balls this, boys.
Yeah, there you go. A little bit of turn he's getting from off the wicket. He's been very impressive.
Go back.
Here's look at the wicket again. Gripped. They inside the line, did Faf du Plessis.
It's a good nut. 3.18 degrees is not a little bit. When you put everything in, look at the angle of where the ball starts off. And because it starts off like that and he's not been getting a great deal of turn, essentially what he's looking to do is just kind of play the line of it. And that's a lot, actually, for it to straighten that much.
Yeah, it is. Just does enough to beat the bat. He's been very impressive. The Super Kings will be happy that this is last over. So, kid with a little bit of gumption. He likes to take the challenge on.
Yeah, a temperament, a certain presence, a competitiveness.
Touchy.
Spunky, you might say.
That's the word.
132 for 4. Texas Super Kings are looking to, well, having to form a partnership once again, because two new batters at the crease now in Ranjane and Ferreira. Shot. Ha ha. Loved every bit of that. Got every bit of that.
Wow. He timed that exceptionally. Off cutter, made room, and just hit through the line so cleanly. Boy, that's a good shot.
Yeah, projections. That's what we're thinking about here, and just about 140 already. They'll probably feel they could get to 180, 190. Need to play well, though. Power hitting comes into it, and Ferreira is certainly one who can do that. He's already shown us around the world where he can do it. Ranjane with that shot says, well, I can contribute. They would love for them to get going together.
Yeah, and they can build it from this over because they got a boundary of the first ball of the over. And even if they just keep going the same nip, they get 11. But if they can get a double or another 4 here, it'll be a big over. You can see how he stops him. This is what he does. He rushes the batter, a cheeky smile because he knows he's using that as a ploy. It's like, now this time I'll use my skill to get you out. And he does. Likes a fight, does Nikhil Chaudhary. I like that about him.
Said, thanks, you did me a favor there. Stopped me. Obviously wasn't quite ready. Yeah, a look at the Alexis team standings, and My goodness, what a tight table. Well, the Super Kings, well, you got to win both. Simple as that. And for the Freedom, well, they've got to win too. They've got 8. I say simple as that, and there's a furrow to the brow of Rodders. Rodders, our statter, is gone, "Oh, simple? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, it keeps him up at night, this stuff. He's been saying something now.
Rodders is telling me that there is a way, and he wrote this all up. There's a way that they could win today, Texas, and lose and still be fine by the numbers, you know, net run rate and all of that. But many other results need to go a certain way. .144 for 4.
It is a beautiful day. Lovely crowd has come in. Home support in full flow, and they'll be very pleased with Donovan Ferrer at the crease. 4 overs to go. Here's Rachin Ravindra. The last 5 overs this season, he struck at 185. Not faced a lot of spin though this phase, so it will be a new challenge. Narain is giving him some problems. Ranjani off to a good start.
Yeah. Hold up.
He's got options, Steve Smith, about how he goes about the next 3 overs. Netravalka's been expensive. Janssen with 2. It could be another dismissal to spin. Ferreira trying to take on the wind. He can't. Janssen does well yet again. Big moment.
From the big man with the big hands. Man, he's got buckets for hands as Janssen. And Ferreira going to take on the spinners. Flight and just a slowness off the pitch on this very shaven surface. Cognizant clutch catch of note. Made it look easy. It was dipping and dying on Janssen. It's the end of Ferreira for just 4. 1-4-6 for 5.
Just have that guy. Just have that Let's get leg stump, please. Leg stump. Thanks. Left arm wrong. Stay there.
Calvin Savage missed the first half of the season with injury. Preferred him to one of their specialist bowlers, so tells you that they really do trust his batting ability. Could have easily gone with Mohsin, the leg spinner. We've seen them persist with Savage. And Steve Smith at slip in the 17th over. It's almost the exact same shot, Danny, that Ferreira played against Narain when he was caught at slip, trying to slog sweep.
That's right, that was in Pomona. It is a go to him, to be fair. He has been very productive over his career with it, but you've only just got in, and you've got to assess who you're bowling against, the left arm angle, and doesn't even have to turn so much. It's the slowness of the delivery. It's deceived him. Very useful. He's very underrated as Rachin Ravindra. So I'd like to see him more at international level bowling. I think he will as he goes on in time, because you keep forgetting he's still relatively young in terms of career, Ravindra. So it bodes well for him. You think about more and more of the T20 circuit, the franchise cricket around, as well as playing for the Black Caps. Another good opportunity for him to develop.
Oh,
148 for 5, just 4 from the over.
He hit his pad with his bat.
Yeah, once again, it's the smarts of summing up the conditions in front of you. Certainly with Smith having the spinners come in and do their thing. Chowdhury, let's see, 2 for 30 from his 4. Everyone else has bowled lots of cutters too, and then you've got Ravindra, who's being a specialist spinner. He'll get through some more overs, certainly. They'll at least get one more, you'd think, maybe. Maybe not. Bowled 2. Might just say, look, let's leave it at that. 1 for 40, and we'll take that. Yeah, I just wonder about Ravindra. Taking a great wicket, crucial wicket for Pereira, and then maybe that's it. And back to the specialist seamers and Janssen, and you go to Netravelka. Dorsius has got one up his sleeve.
And folks, there's a benefit in having left-arm seamers in your team in T20 cricket, because on days like this where there's a wind factor, they can take the ball across the right-hander. Netravelka from this end will try to do that wide. Why that option from Pereira is surprising, because of the fact that could attack from this end, hitting leg side with the wind. And you know, we've seen Faf and Sateja Mukamala be successful hitting straight. Over 60% of their runs today straight.
I just suppose the other factor is Nicola's just running out of balls, right? We're getting into the death overs and we want to get on with things, and he probably feels, look, this has got to go. Yeah, and he could have either gone straight, could have possibly used his feet, because he does rely on flight, does Ravindra. Thinking it too, they're going to hustle here. They're going to have to hurry. Sell it! My word, Savage. I think you're struggling, Chief. You've got the wrong shoes on. Those are the lead ones. Mate!
That was savage.
Leslie to Ajay, we have a run-out review at the striker's end. Can I have your best side-on angle, please?
Gold from you, Nickers.
Freeze it right there. Battery short. I'm ready to make my decision for the big screen.
And boom! He's going to have to assess those sponsored shoes. Mr. Savage, wrong ones. Bye-bye. Look, he's just dawdling. See, he's not run the first one hard. That's the cardinal sin. Then he realised, I better come back. Mate, we're in the death overs. You've got to hustle, Chief. Oh, no. Cost him and the team out for 2, 150 for 6.
Oh, it's fine, it's fine.
Akil Hossain, left-hander, up with attacking both sides. The tough start for Calvin Savage was dismissed one ball against Shanaka, part of the 4 and 4, then run out next game. Let's face 4 balls.
Again, for youngsters at home, it just underlines the basics. You've got to run that first one hard. You'd coach to do that. And in the situation the Texas Super Kings are in. They've got to do these basics well. Run the first one hard, it might come back. And sure enough, yeah, we're going to come back for another one. Well short.
Change of pace and given in the end. Shane Samuels took his time, but then made the decision. And discussing it, whether to review Akil Hossein Ranjani. 5, 4, 3, goes.
Leslie to Ajay, we have a player review for LBW. The original decision is out. It's a fair delivery. Can you move on to front on, please? Front on coming up. Appears to be a gap between bat and ball. I will need Ultra Edge to confirm if there is. Forward, forward, flat line on Ultra Edge, a slight gap on the left-hand side. There is no bat involved. Can you proceed to ball tracking, please? Original decision is out. Pitching outside off, impact in line. Wickets hitting, the review is lost. Back on field to Rashane. Rashane, you stay with your original out decision. You are on screen, make your signal.
He took a while to get there, but it's a decision made correctly by Rashane Samuels. So 1 ball for Hossein and relief for Natravalka. Hossein, just the 1 ball. Bit of a collapse now, 150 for 7. They were 130 for 3, Texas Super Kings. So it's 20 runs for 4 wickets lost. Hamshi De Silva. They were cruising, folks. 130 for 3 after 14 overs. Then the freedom have come back into the game. He's getting purchase out the surface with these cutters, Natravalka. The release, Danny, almost coming out like a perfect off spinner.
Yeah, renowned for it. Yeah, lovely little scene presentation. Just that one there, just gripped just enough, only a little. Nothing outrageous, but the grip, look, it just goes. Yeah, there's the degree of turn. And the left arm angle to a left-hander and all of those sorts of things. Well done, Rashane Samuels. He was positive, he thought and waited.
Tend to get value hitting that side of the ground. He did well. I think it's Melanta on the deep square boundary, but not well enough.
No, I think as a bowler, he'd be a little miffed with that. Because the fielder did all the hard work. It's a great effort to get there. And when these bounce like that, they can spin away from you, but he did well to get there. Yeah, he got there comfortably, so he'll feel aggrieved, will the fielder, because the bowler certainly is. Yeah, he's given it the teapot as Netravalka. So what a busy over. We've had the run out, a wicket, and a boundary here. Last ball of the 18th.
$155 for 7.
Heavy?
such a promising position after that 93-run opening stand. They've melted in the heat. Still 12 deliveries to try to get as many as possible. Danny, here's Rachin Ravindra again.
Yeah, we wondered, didn't we, just moments ago? Little top edge. Will run away, but another day that goes straight up, and it could have gone straight to Netravalka around the corner. But again, I think just underlines the nature of the surface. So Steve Smith's gone to spin. He says, look, mate, you've got it on a string, your flight, and everything's going well. That wasn't the worst delivery, and there's risk involved. As I mentioned, that could have gone straight up and been caught around the corner at 45 on the circle.
There'll be a level of familiarity for Amshi De Silva, who bats at 6 in his minor league franchise and plays at this ground. Go back deep, the Super Kings. Still Milne to come.
There we go, there we go.
Chance this. It is into the wind. Another batter falls, hitting to that side.
There we go.
Yeah, they're taking it on. Still knowing the elements and everything. Just need to hit it down, Chief. And you've got a certain fellow, Anjane, at the other end. Rajani's at the other end. Get a single and get Rajani back on strike. Out for 9 to Silva. It's 158, 159 rather now for 8.
Adam Milne. Just the 2 wickets in hand, and Ranjan is 19 at the other end.
Well, that's the problem. You've got to. It's a team game. Should have just paddled it round the corner for a single. I know it's easier said than done from up here, of course, but it's just the simplicity and the basics. Milne out in the middle now. The understanding here how difficult it will be to get this fellow away, but I'm mentioning here, just hit it down, get a single, and get your senior player at the other end who's 19 from 13. Is clearly the better batter.
Able to get 1. And you think Owen is going to bowl the last over. He's been a handful from this end, that angle from around the wicket, and using the wind. That's to come. But 130 for 3, folks. They lost to Rousseau Forrester quickly, and then Ferreira. The Ferreira wicket was a huge one. Last 5 overs, 32 for 5. 161 for 8. Super Kings were galloping the first 6. The last 6, however, have been quite the opposite. Six balls, and it's not Mitch Owen, it's going to be Ben Dwarshuis. With the left arm angle again, there's a deep cover and long off, protecting the offside boundary, which is into the wind. A strong wind. And the angle works. It's Ranjani and a 9th wicket down for the Super Kings.
Systems overload here for the Super Kings. Wow. They're just constantly losing wickets at all the wrong moments of this innings. Again, little cross seamer. Yeah, sure is. Little off cutter. And Shubham Rajani is having to head back for 20. He lost the strike, so he's lost momentum in his innings. He does go for 20 off 15, and the Super Kings are 161 for 9 now.
What a collapse this has been. And Ranjana would have been their hope for this final over. Probably would have faced every ball. Cognizant MLC. This is why it's been so gripping this season. It can change so quickly. Both in the table, the Lexus points table, and in the individual games.
Yeah, just on that. It's just, look at that, 3 on 10, 2 on 8, 1 on 6. But again, the surfaces around the country are quite different. They're in Oakland versus here versus that brand new stadium at Pomona. And then back to here, and a little bit drier surface than usual.
Speaking of the close games, Danny, don't forget last time these two teams met in Auckland, what happened? Went down to the final over. Akil Hossain got a hat trick, and Nikhil Chaudhary hit a 6 off the last ball to win it. So buckle up.
Yeah, you never say never. And it proved it in match 13 there at Oakland. It just swat a couple more. If you could get to 170. I know they're 9 down, but 170 would be brilliant.
I'll have to reboard that one. I think back to last night. Jamar Hamilton hit a 6 off the last ball for the LA Knight Riders to help them get to 184, and it helped them in the end in the run chase when they defended.
I can also tell you as a player, when whether it's a tail end or whatever, they do that. And if the last over goes for few, you take that into the dressing room, and that lifts the whole bowling fraternity to then come out and do their thing. Milne almost put his back out there, and see why. Yeah, he has to. It's like a free license. You've got 2 balls to go. But now we're down to the last ball. Can he pump this one? Can he get a 4 or a 6 off it? Be very handy here for the Super Kings.
What they've done in this phase is a small win for Steve Smith, you know. They've struggled this season to finish the innings as a bowling group. This has been superb. One final ball. Does well again. He's mixed up his length beautifully, and he'll be run out. Fitting way to end. It is 33 for 6 in the last 5 overs. A colossal capitulation from the Kings.
Absolute procession. And you mentioned it earlier, Nikhil. They were 3 down for 130. Then 4, 146, 150 twice. And then the 8th at 159, 161 for 9. All done and dusted for 165 off their 120 balls. Very frustrating for the Super Kings backroom staff, coaching, whatever, to have them fall over and not make 180.
It started so promisingly with Duplessis and Mukamala getting 93 in quick time. They were 120, 130 actually after 14 overs, and only ended up with 165. They'll be disappointed.
Yeah, the bowling, Nechavalka a little expensive, but got a key wicket. Chowdhury at 2 for 30, 8 dots, 2 for 19, Owen. And Ravindra 2 for 20. Walsh just 1 for 32. Pretty good. Let's go to Amar Patel sideline.
here with Nikhil Chaudhary. I want to take you back to the 10-over mark of this innings. They had 90 runs on the board. What was the secret to restricting them?
Yeah, they were flying in the first 10. Everyone saw that. But I reckon with the spinners, we got me and Raj. We actually came back pretty good. But yeah, I think 165 it should be chaseable here with Michi and Smudge on the top.
2 wickets for you today, including the wicket of Faf du Plessis. Walk me through that delivery.
Yeah, that was a big wicket for us. He was, as I said, they were flying. Faf's wicket is always the big one. Coming into play, scoring 100 in the first 10, I reckon his wicket was very crucial, and I was lucky enough to get that wicket.
In terms of the pitch, we talked about it being dry in the pre-game. How do you make of it right now?
Yeah, I reckon the first 10 overs we actually saw that I was actually playing good. Kudos to our all the bowling lineup and the bowlers. They actually came back right, but I reckon this should be chaseable here with Michi and Smudge at the top.
Well done in the first, and good luck the rest of the way, Nikhil.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much.
Been a main contributor, Nikhil Chaudhary. Best name in cricket as well. 166 is the target for the Freedom. They need this win for their playoff contention. We will take a break. When we come back, the Rangers.
Welcome back to Grand Prairie for the final 48 hours of this fantastic 4th season of Cognizant Major League Cricket 2026. We're in match 27. Super Kings are entering must-win territory, and for the first half of that innings it all went so well. Fantastic 93-run opening partnership between Saiteja Mukamala and Faf du Plessis put them into a great position, but a rather untimely collapse has seen them bowled all out for 165. See an awful lot of batting highlights in the first half of this package, and then a lot of bowling highlights in the second, because du Plessis and Mukamala dominated the early skirmishes in this contest. Mukamala hit 5 sixes altogether, no boundaries, whereas Faf du Plessis hit 3 sixes and 4-4s. There was a wide array of strokes, including some really good ones, until Mukamala picked out Marco Janssen in the deep. Get over then off Chowdhury that helped get Duplessis to 50. But from here, all you're going to see is wickets, because Riley Rousseau came and went. Dean Forrester hit one big six off Chowdhury, and off the very next ball, hit it straight back at him. It was a sharp cut and bowl chance. Then Faf du Plessis was cleaned up by an absolute beauty. Rashid Khan, eat your heart out. There's the occasional boundary, but then it was really just a wide array of wickets. Donovan Ferreira took on an ambitious stroke down the ground. Calvin Savage was run out thanks to a combination of some pretty tardy running and miscommunication with Shubham Ranjane. And then, after a long think, Rishane Samuels got that decision spot on, with Akil Hussain being trapped LBW first ball to serve Netravalkar. It was a really poor shot from Amshi De Silva, having hit a couple of boundaries. He was caught 25 yards inside the rope, and then Ranjani, who couldn't get the strike, was caught by Malantha in a rather, well, farcical run out off the very final delivery. But somehow the Super Kings were bowled all out. There's the bowling figures. Spinners particularly effective, going at less than 7 runs per over. And that will be something that the Super Kings will have to consider for the second innings. Wicket apiece too for the 2 left-arm seamers. Okay, didn't have his best day with the bat today, but his bowling's been very economical this season, and he could be important in the second innings. Here's more on Donovan Ferreira.
When everything's flowing and you're batting really well, then you kind of tend to not overthink and everything just falls into place. But when you're not in the ball as well, then sometimes you're trying to overcomplicate it. So I think, especially now in my role, batting at the back end, you want to try to keep it as simple as possible, even though the pressure maybe gets to you at some point. But that's one way to mitigate the pressure of it. If they bowl a perfect Yorker, then I'm definitely not hitting it for 6. But I think, you know, I work a lot with Albie Morkel to hit the low full tosses. So I think it's more important just focusing on when they miss, that it goes for 6, because bowlers are also allowed to execute and bowlers are allowed to bowl well. So it's how can you be productive? So if they bowl a perfect ball, can you maybe get off strike? Can you get 1 instead of facing a couple of dots? And then as soon as they miss, you can try and hit the 6 or a boundary. And then that transfers the pressure back onto the bowler, because then he knows if he misses, then obviously it's going for a boundary. So he needs to focus a bit more in terms of executing. For me, I've always had fast hand speed. It's similar to what I say to guys, like when guys are bowling 150 kilometers an hour. I think you're kind of born with that. It's something that you're blessed with. So for me, I'm fortunate that my hand speed's quite good, and I think that generates power to hit the ball quite a long way. But yeah, it still takes a lot of hard work and dedication to try and get it more consistent, because it doesn't help you can hit the ball far, but you're doing it 1 out of 10 times. You want to try and get that consistency more often than not, so you can actually get success. In my role, you know, there's a lot of things that change. You could go in the 12th over, you could go in the 6th over, you could go in the last 2 overs. So, you know, it's quite chaotic, but I think to keep my mind calm and to keep my, you know, space clean in the morning was something that I introduced last year actually at the MLC, and it's paid off and it's worked for me. So I can't really say what it does, but I think, you know, it just sets the tone for the day to really get you focused, because, you know, staying in your room or, you know, pre-match, there's a lot of time, so you could get distracted. The cleanliness and, you know, me packing things in certain areas in the room just gets my mind ready and gets me switched on for a game.
Man, he's had a great couple of years in white ball cricket. He'll need to be at his best with the ball, because the Super Kings only have 165 on the board. It means that the freedom to take what would be a massive win in the post season picture. They'll need 166 to win. Can they do it? Find out live with us in just a few moments. Welcome back to Texas, and the heat is on in a big way. It's our fourth from last game of the regular season, and all 6 teams are still eyeing up a playoff spot. Nobody confirmed, nobody out of the running yet. Freedom have had the better of the first innings, particularly the second half of the first innings. It was an innings that started so brightly for the Super Kings at 93 for none. They collapsed in a heap. They'll have to face Mitchell Owen now, the Super Kings, with all of his pyrotechnics. Career strike rate in MLC over 2 runs per delivery. You don't see that altogether too often, even in the modern game. And he'll have his regular opening partner in the shape of the captain, Steve Smith, with him at the non-striker's end. He's very effective up in Pomona, but apart from that, hasn't quite found fluency this season. For the Super Kings, not going to open with spin as I thought they might have, although they could from the other end of the ground. They'll start with pace on from Adam Milne from the racecourse end. They do have a couple of spin options in the 11 with Akil Hussain back into the side, and Donovan Ferreira's off breaks likely to be used against some of the left-handers that could come in the middle order. Super Kings, well, they pretty much need 2 wins. Can they find a good bowling effort? Let's get it on. Ooh, immediate significant movement back in. Well, that swung heavily. Mitchell Owen is saying he'd like to review it, but it was given not out, so I don't know what he's thinking of. It's the Super Kings who are on the clock. The message to Faf du Plessis is one that they should take a look. So from the very first ball, up we go to the VTEX DRS.
Leslie to Ajay, we have a player review for LBW. The original decision is not out. It's a fair delivery. Can you move on to front on, please? Front on coming up. Just take it back. Forward. Forward. Yeah, there's a clear gap between bat and ball. There's no bat involved. Can you move on to ball tracking, please? Standing by on ball tracking, Rashane. Standing by. Here comes ball tracking. The original decision is not out. Pitching in line, impact in line, wickets missing. The review is lost. Back on field to Rashane. Rashane, you can stay with your original not out decision. You're on screen.
Couple of really good decisions from Hussein Samuels across the 2 innings. The first one giving it out to Keel Hussein, spot on the money, so too is that one. They've lost a review of the Super Kings. Robin Attap is alongside me. Robin, you can understand why they've maybe thought of going for a review given it was Mitchell Owen, but it was never really looking too close.
Yeah, it wasn't close at all, was it, Lenny? It was banana in swinger, as we call it. Clearly missing leg stump. However, you look at the state of the match at this point in time. The Super Kings will feel like they've let themselves down. And to put it bluntly, I think they've shot themselves in the foot here. No business finishing in 166.
Big swing and a miss. What do you feel went wrong towards the end of that first innings? Because it was a bit of a catastrophe of a collapse.
Yeah, it was a little bit of mindless batting, to be honest. No intention, and you're just trying to score runs without giving yourself a chance. You want to have a little bit more depth when you're coming out to bat in situations like this. Stepping out, missing it, not giving him any room intentionally. And when you look at that innings, it's like after a point you want to slap your head and say, what are you doing out there?
Good start this from Milne. Aggressive, hostile. Well, it looks like everyone has a plan for Mitchell Owen. And this same pitch, though, did make a rather impressive 100. We loved watching this one.
Yeah, this was just absolutely stunning, this innings from Mitch Owen. He hit the ball so cleanly. He's dominated it. When he got out on the 16th over, he was at 155. Could have easily gone on to make maybe 180, 190.
Yeah, definitely one of the innings of the tournament, the highest score. But since then, just a bit of a lull. 4 consecutive low scores. He is up in the top 5, though. One of our VTEC's leading run scorers for Cognizant MLC 2026, but just a little bit of diminishing returns. I think that the other sides have really targeted him, planned very well to him. They're not giving him any of that width that he capitalised upon in that innings, not allowing him to swing the bat in the way in which he likes to. It's a good first over. Can Milne close it out? Can, thanks to a good piece of fielding from Forrester at mid-on. Just 2 from the first, 2 for none. Race day across at Lone Star Park. At the back we saw the horses needing to be getting washed down, such as the heat. That's a packed car park. Lone Star Park there in the background, right at the top, and then the home of Cognizant MLC. Done such a brilliant job, haven't they, at converting the stadium, the former Grand Prairie Air Hogs, or Texas Air Hogs as they were called, a minor league baseball side that played here for about a decade. You would never know it because they've converted this perfectly Now, these 4 overs could be key, particularly potentially 2 or 3 of Akil Hussein in the power play. We saw the spinners very effective from the river end in that first innings. Just 3 fielders on the leg side for Akil Hussein. This was the moment. What about this? The magic, and then from the happiness to completely distraught. First ever hat-trick in Cognizant MLC history in the final over. Absolute delight at that point. And then 2 balls later, despair, because Chowdhury in the first match between these two sides hit that final ball for 6. As remarkable a finish as you'll ever see. Picks up the length nicely, gets that width that he capitalizes upon and gets himself off the mark, the first boundary.
Yeah, that was asking to be punished. Back of a length from Akil Hussein. Sits up here, just did just that. Mitch Owen punishing it away for 4. First boundary for him and for freedom.
Going to subtly change the field. The man out at long off will go out to long on now to protect 5-4 offside field.
And actually make one more change. I'd actually take mid-wicket off, put into square leg, and then bring deep mid-wicket far more straighter. Especially against Owen.
I also think that a conversation with Duplessis there was make sure you remember to turn it. Not necessarily sure he wants to go to the arm balls early.
Yeah, this is good stuff from Akil Hussein. He's really good. Oh my word. A direct hit resulting in an overthrow. It's these little margins that matter in the end. Don't have that much of a score. Don't need these too often. And he's comfortably in. Common sense, as they say.
Or a lack thereof, if you will, Robbie.
I was going for not that common.
Absolutely no need to throw that. Ferreira, such was his exuberance, trying to get an impact on the game that he couldn't have with the bats.
Yeah, this is good bowling from TSK, I beg your pardon.
Come on, buddy.
Bowling the right areas, getting a little bit of turn. Not the usual stuff we see from the freedom.
Lovely, Akil.
9 from the over, 11 for none. It really is remarkable as to just how tightly fought this regular season has become. Just remind everyone that to get that rather crazy scenario of all the sides finishing on 10 points apiece, Texas would have to win their last 2, obviously. So with just 4 games left in the season, every single result, every ball is going to count.
And the Super Kings will have to pull up their performances and see them in the Lexus team standings right at the bottom. They're going to play the way they batted today. It's not going to serve them. Need to pull a rabbit out of the hat here and build some momentum as they move into the tournament. There's not much left of it. in the league stage.
Good use of the feet. Smith has been desperate to get going. Dances down. A lot of the batters who've done that this season have had good reward and hits it straight for 4.
He's such a different player, isn't he? When he holds shape, he hits the ball so cleanly. Look at this, stepping out, holding shape. Beautiful shot, just through the line. The minute there's that hip-shoulder separation early from Steve Smith, gets all handsy with his bat. Not able to generate a lot of power when he does that.
Pulled away this time, but Amshi De Silva does some Amshi De Silva things. He's so good to watch in the deep, isn't he? Great piece of fielding, made it look easy.
He's by far been the most impressive youngster. A long way in this season, Cognizant MLC. He moves around so well. There's a lot of intent. Fighter, wants to win. Willing to put his body on the line. Everything you need from a young. There you go. Hip-shoulder separation early. And all hands on that shot. No power whatsoever. This is the point I was trying to make. When he holds shape as a batter, Steve Smith, he's able to generate so much power. But when he doesn't, when he opens up those hips, there is just no power. It's all hands.
Oh, great change of pace. Previous delivery was rapid. This time just takes all the pace off. Great skills from Adam Milne.
Was the off cutter, wasn't it? Yeah, just rolled his fingers over the ball. Improved on his variations as Adam Milne the last year or so.
Width on offer, but there is protection out there. It's incredible to think of that points table in terms of how not a single team is sitting in any way safely with 4 games left.
I love it. I love the fact that it's so competitive. A team like at this stage of the tournament, the team at the bottom of the table still has an outside chance. Has more than an outside chance, to be honest. If they win 2 matches, they're well and truly in it.
Then there's the surreality that even if Texas win both, they could still miss out on net run rate. There are too many permutations for even our maestro here, Rodders, to work out. Follows him. Very clearly a tactic to not give Mitchell Owen any room to swing those arms. No shortage of pace again. 3 have been bowled. It's 19 for none. Yeah, we've seen 3 consecutive games where the side setting the total has defended it here at Grand Prairie, which again you might feel as though it's not what is the usual setup. So many captains wanting to bowl first here, but we're honours even. 52 games here, 26-1 batting first, 26-1 batting second. Hussain will bowl a second. Picked up towards the man and held on to. And who else would it be but Amshi De Silva? He is awesome.
Amshi, you beauty. What an absolute stunner. That ball didn't have too much height. He ran in knowing fully well he'd have to dive in front. And he takes an absolute peach of a catch. What an athlete this young man is. Shot into the legs. And it is the absolute Cognizant clutch catch of the day. Oh my gosh. You little beauty.
It's the epitome, isn't it, of a Cognizant clutch catch and a shh from Akil Hussain. He says, thanks for coming, Mitchell Owen. Big, big wicket. He's gone for 7, 19 for 1. Rachin Ravindra into the crease at number 3, replaced his international teammate Mark Chapman in the squad, who is now in action down in the Caribbean in Guyana against the West Indies. Ravindra, who was very effective with his left-arm orthodox in that first innings, is an opportunity to show us how good he is with the bat. Seen some spectacular catches this season, none maybe more important or athletic than this one from Amshi De Silva.
That is an insane catch. That intent, commitment to run in when there is no height on the ball whatsoever. He knew. Oh, look at that in real time. Yeah, celebrate all you want, man. You deserve it.
Slip comes into place. May see a few arm balls going across the left-hander here. Ravindra off the mark immediately. The brilliance of this catch for me, the way in which he sprinted in, but also look after taking it, where you make sure to slide on his thigh and his backside to ensure there's no chance of it popping out.
Yeah, the presence of mind, the creating sense behind this catch is just immaculate. The commitment to the catch is what is the most impressive.
Doesn't have mind a celebration either, does he? Usually when he's bowling, but in the field too. Remember that run out he had thrown in from the deep as well, the 70-yard direct hit. He's had a big impact this season in yellow as Amshi De Silva. Really nice stroke, and I think Amshi De Silva thought as though there was someone at long on, because if it wasn't for du Plessis shouting at him to hair after it, he might have just watched it run to the rope, but he cuts it off in time.
Yeah, that's why communication when you're fielding is so important. Raising of hands, signaling that a ball can be stopped. Because the fielders inside the 30-yard circle know how well or badly a batter's hit the ball. They've timed the ball well, if it's gone through the middle of the bat or not.
Just sense that throughout this afternoon contest, spin is going to have a big impact. There's also 4 potential overs of Donovan Ferreira.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think spin's going to play a big part here. And now that Freedom haven't gone off to a start that they generally do, it's going to make the game a lot more interesting.
Misfield from Donovan Ferreira, of all people, is going to cost 2. Smith needs to get going. Oh, direct hit might have been interesting. Just a few little sloppy moments from the Super Kings.
Yeah, poor. He'll know it. And who sets such high standards for himself. And just the lack of effort after misfielding is what is poor. He was checking if he was running or not. Knows it. Certainly he'll make amends. I'll lamp him up.
Dance down the track and smokes it high and into the retaining barrier. 6 from the moment it left the bat. Superb from Smith. It's 30 for 1. Yeah, great use of the feet, just to dance down the track and dispatched all the way. Looks like a different Steve Smith out there today. 93 meters, 305 feet.
Lovely day for cricketing action. And we're just getting started really in terms of the fun, because later tonight we got another game coming for you. Everyone's so important. The qualification. Aki Hussain will be disappointed because what could have been a single turned into two, and then Steve Smith making full use. Been slow in the power play this season, so captain is off to a good start. And Abmi Manu Lamba, his debut season, not much in the wickets column, but it's been the economy, bowling across the phases, run a ball. It's added valuable contributions for Faf and his team.
Let's get our stuff together, right?
And just making sure the ball is in good shape. Rashane Samuels and co. Ready for this fifth over. Two big overs coming in the Lexus power play. Placed it well. Wide of that deep cover fielder. Get a couple.
You look at what's gone on so far. And there's been bluster. That's certainly the height of it all. Fantastic catch to get rid of Mitch Owen.
That is a top shot. It's straight. We've seen that throughout the day from batters.
He's pleasing to the eye. Ravindra, when he gets going, that languid swing of the blade. Feet really get out of the way most of the time rather than go straight towards the ball. But he hits it sweetly, has the gift of timing. Away it goes for six with the wind.
Staff work tirelessly to make sure conditions are ready for us each and every day. Heroes that make the Cognizant MLC possible. We are so grateful to them for their hard work in the sun.
Yeah, been difficult to sort of work out which the best thing to do is for teams. As they turn up in the afternoon, you might think, okay, bat first if you win it and get the score on the board, but it is the day part of a doubleheader. Oh, good adjustment, just in time. What has been evident this season is the fall off, the capitulation at the back end of innings in the final phase of the game. And looking at the statistics, Rodder's giving us all those numbers. You could call it a 75% drop in terms of effectiveness as teams look to try and finish off. And that 75% drop is in comparison to what we're accustomed to here at Grand Prairie. I mean, have a look at that. That actually just tells you everything. Look at those wickets. What was it, 33 for 7? 36 for 7? I'll get that right in the end. 33 for 6. Yeah, and that's not just one team it's happening to, it's across the board this season. 40 for 1.
Penultimate day in group stage action. And after this game, we've got Orcas Unicorns, Battle of the West, taking place right here at the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. First ball at 7:30 p.m. local. And hopefully you're getting to see the action from now, because this man is entertainment. 12 wickets this season, 4 in the power play. He's been filled with pace, Amshi De Silva. So good when he gets going, Steve Smith. Dangerous signs for the Super Kings.
Can't afford the width. Not with that third up in the circle. Just enough for Steve Smith to pierce the gap. Times it well. And we'll pick up 4 more. Going at a decent clip here. And the rate of scoring has just stepped up since they've come together. 25 from 12, the partnership.
The point has been added after that shot opening the face by Smith. He's taken wickets in every game barring one this season, De Silva. The only game that was against the Freedom. But it's been truly entertaining to watch him go about things. Was a net bowler for them last year right here in Dallas. That's where they discovered him. Got his name, date of birth, everything. And he was their first pick in the domestic draft this season.
Yeah, things can change very quickly. Dream big, believe, keep at it.
Fielder won't get around Akil Hussain. They're using the pace to their advantage, the Freedom.
They're continuing on. The accelerator well and truly pressed and trying to make sure that they take advantage of this Lexus power play. Rachin Ravindra has turned up and he's on.
Just always feel like something is going to happen.
He got good pace. 3 for 15 in match number 21. Yeah, that's straight.
Such a crisp sound off the bat.
Enjoying this pace on, and when he decides that he's gonna try and change it up, putting him under even more pressure, doesn't get up. It's just the right height for him. Tough shot that.
Under pressure now to close the Lexus power play. Still a deep point, deep square. Got a hand on it, Abhimanyu Lamba. Wonder if he just picked it up a touch late. But it's an expensive over nonetheless. 17 from it, 57 for 1.
Fielding is about anticipation and concentration and quick decision making. You've then got to move quickly as well. You just seem to be caught napping there and then decides to move quite late. And so gets a hand on it, and you can see the disappointment there.
The statistician is harsh, and he says anything to hand is a drop. So that may be a drop. Going to Lamba. But they were 59, or rather 66 without loss after the power play. Freedom not far behind. Remember, Super Kings had that collapse. Dean Forrester will come into the attack. Steve Smith continues inside the Lexus power play and out of it.
This is an incredible acceleration. This is short into the pitch, looking for those slower balls again, and he picks the gap in the deep to get 4 more. We sat down here and the rate of scoring was sort of 7.5. It's going towards 10 now in the space of 12, 13 balls.
Trying to go wide, and defensive option from Forrester. Two teams at the bottom of the table, and net run rate will be an important column as well. They'll want to win first and foremost. If they can do it whilst getting it in good time, it'll help.
Yeah, look at the power play and that initial phase. Texas power play, they're not particularly going too quickly with Freedom, but then able with this partnership of Ravindra and Smith to pick it up.
Let's go to Anika Kolan. Where are you, Anika?
Yeah, Nikhil, I'm here in the crowd. People from all places of the world come together and they form a special bond. I'm here with two best friends to my right and my left. How did you guys end up meeting?
Well, we actually met at the hospital. We were both very sick and going to the same doctor. And as the legend goes, we were actually reading the exact same book. And so, rest is history.
What was the book?
We were both reading the Shadowhunter Chronicles.
How cute is that? I mean, I haven't read the book, but I might just have to. Why are you guys here in the crowd? What brought you to cricket?
Well, I'm the designated driver, so me. But I got into cricket because my dad would always say, like, are they watching football? And they're like, no, but we watch cricket. Let me tell you about the game. And so that's why I'm here.
Nice, nice. And I see a bit of makeup going on. It's really, really pretty. Just talk me through the colors. What's going on here?
Well, you know, we're here all day. We're watching the doubleheader. And so I have both teams I'm supporting today. We've got the TSK side and the Seattle Orcas side.
No, it's pretty impressive. I mean, you're going to have to do my makeup a bit later, too.
You know it.
Older brother here on the side, how do you feel? I mean, can I say that you have two little sisters that you accompany to the game?
Absolutely. So getting them involved. I was here for the first year and they weren't here and they were telling me I was the worst brother ever. So I had to make up for it. So here I am.
Yeah, here you are. But you don't have a few of the bracelets that all of us do have.
I'm missing out.
You are missing out. You might have to get a few. Just if you get the camera on these bracelets, I have Faf du Plessis 13. We got Amshi De Silva, and we got, who do we have here?
We got
Saiteja Mukamala. We might have to get a few for the players, and I might have to take a few of my own. Thanks so much, guys. It's been so great talking to you guys. Score is 69 for 1 in around 7 overs so far.
Freedom's getting closer. Good signs for the men in red. Steve Smith. A quiet season, and definitely in terms of strike rate, been around or run a ball. So forces Faf to go to Donovan Ferreira. Misses his line to start. Smith into the 40s.
Yeah, the partnership had just ticked over past 50. Can't stop the bleeding here. What they need is a wicket. They need to get one of these two out. And pressure game as well for TSK. One they must win. And with the way this is going, 55 from 26, this partnership. 92 from 76 required. That rate required has gone down pretty quickly. And they've played well. And very difficult to stop.
So with these two going well, 50-plus partnership with Netravalka bowling well, it's reminiscent of that 24 season that they won. These were the ingredients. Steve Smith had a great year, 350s. Travis Head was here as well. This was the intent. Got 100 earlier this year, Steve Smith, in T20 cricket in Australia. In terms of fluency, he hasn't found it. It's probably the first day, and the strike rate tells you so. First day he's found it. Pretty sure I saw her last night in an MI New York shirt. Need to have a word with her. Where's Aman Patel? Need to get him over there. Multiple loyalties. Runs from every ball of the over. Very good from the Freedom. 10 from it, 79 for 1.
Amji! Left arm spinner, that side. Donnie?
87 runs left to get for the Washington Freedom, and the Super Kings' hopes of making the playoffs hang in the balance. It's going to become crucial to break this partnership that's worth 60 runs. Just off 30 deliveries, remarkably. And they've turned to Akil Hussain, the Super Kings, who's been brought back into the side. Has the only wicket of the day. Half of his men need a breakthrough, and they need it quickly. It's up. Fielder's there. And Ferreira takes it. Right on cue, Hussain strikes.
Very, very keen to get one. Now they've got two. And who else? Ferreira running round. I've seen him do it all around the globe in franchise T20s. And yeah, it's a big blow because Rachin Ravindra was looking dangerous. He was there, going well. Big Aussie rules mark from Donovan Ferreira. The end of Ravindra for 24 from 12. It's a nice strike rate at 200, but he departs, and they're now 79 for 2, the Freedom.
That partnership felt like one the Freedom had in LA on July 1st. 62-run partnership that was put up between Steve Smith and Mark Chapman on that occasion. This time, partnership worth 60. Will that be enough to get Steve Smith into the form to carry this innings through? New man in for the Freedom is Andres Jos. Picked up 37 in the Freedom's last at-bat against the LA Knight Riders. It was his wicket that ultimately turned the game away from the Washington Freedom. And he'll have a big hand to play here.
Yeah, it's proven to be tricky. It's a day game. It's a dry surface. The spinners are certainly going to have some sort of a say. And Akil Hussain, 2 for 20. He's now into his third. So you have to say he is the danger man here for the Freedom to take on and keep scoring against. Just drops it on a length, and the confidence of Akil Hussain, who's in a good mood because very spoiled. He went off to watch Portugal versus Spain here in Dallas. It's a bucket list gig for him to see Ronaldo play for Portugal. Akil Hussain, he was over the moon. Like a 5-year-old, the first go at a candy shop.
And be over the moon about getting rid of Rachin Ravindra, who was looking to take on the ball coming back into him, but it was just too far outside, well hid from Akil Hussain, and all he could do was slice it straight up. Ravindra knew it straight away, and Ferreira, cool customer underneath the ball.
As soon as he hit that, he knew that he was in trouble. In the end, he was quite comfortably short of that boundary. Hitting with the breeze too, he wanted to do that, take on the big boundary straight.
The thing for the Freedom that they'll hang their hat on is the depth that their batting order has. Steve Smith still out there, Andres Jos still in great form. And you still have guys like Obis Panar in the back, Lahido Malanta, 2 Americans, Marco Janssen still to come. Nikhil Chaudhary, the hero against the Super Kings back in Oakland.
Yeah, I'll be intrigued just to see how Jos supports Smith here, and very adept at sweeping. Keeper batters always are. They love sweeping, little late dab cuts, little scoops and flicks. So this will be intriguing is how Jos goes about things here.
This is the over the Super Kings needed. It was nearly just sliding into a position where the Freedom was getting close to that run-up ball area, but just 2 runs from over 9. Just 3 runs from over number 9 and the big wicket of Rachin Ravindra. It's 82 for 2 with the close of 9. Yesterday, we saw a contest where the Seattle Orcas really were in control the whole way through, but never got ahead of the runs required and faltered at the end. It's nearly a similar scenario, isn't it? Where we're just trickling the same direction. So the Freedom would know that, would have seen the game yesterday, and be knowing they have to get ahead of this run rate. Again, we've spoken about the names that come for the Freedom. Ideally, they would love these 2 to finish it off. 84 left to get from the last 66. Abhimanyu Lamba returns to the bowling attack.
So Bretsky and Seifert put on 117 from 75 balls. They were cruising. That was the issue. They were cruising at that point until Bretsky got out. And all of a sudden the game changed. Slowed down, they were to be measured, they knew they were ticking along nicely, and then think about the skipper came in, Stoinis, he came and went early. I think Smith would have watched that. Maybe all apparent about what went down yesterday with that scenario where the Orcas were cruising. It's a little similar here. The askings is, well, just under 8s, and they're going at just under 9s. But the skipper to get out now when he's close to 50, that would be a cardinal sin. And I think also here, with Lamba on, Gous is going to prefer that. He's going to prefer that. And you think about scoring areas for Smith, he likes the ball coming on well and smooth from the quick man. So this is a big, big challenge for Lamba.
Lamba's got all the changes of pace. That's why he's in the 11 for the Super Kings. Part of the St. Louis Americans lineup in minor league cricket, and he made a name for himself in the Midwest because of the cutters and the slower deliveries he has. And so that's why he's in today, trying to use the dryness of the surface. We heard from Sarbnet Volker at the toss. The off cutters, those are going to be key in the contest.
Yeah, Netravalka might have been a bit more expensive, but yeah, he's a very, very useful competitor.
Straight to the man. Lamba in and gets the big wicket. Smith goes on 46, and the Super Kings have life.
It's too scary, isn't it? Sometimes you just talk things up and they come to fruition. He said it would be absolutely sinful for Smith to get out now, close to 50, he's set and going. He doesn't keep it down, or he doesn't go one way or the other, down on the ground or up and over point, backward. And he's furious with himself. And he's got to go. 46. Oh dear. They lose their third at 83. And they're going to have a little light refreshment here. It's fuming hot here in Grand Prairie at 83 for 3.
We talked about it with Seattle. They struggled once that big partnership got out. Both Ravindra, 24 off 12, Smith, 46 off 29, who had a 60-run partnership between them. They're gone. Andres Gels will have a new partner. Can him and the new partner find a way through the Super Kings lineup and get the remaining 83? Akeem Hussain back into the team, straight into the wickets. He's got 2. And then Abhimanyu Lamba's first of the day, the big one, getting Steve Smith. And the Super Kings will sit here and think, you know what? The playoffs aren't out of our grasp yet.
They're certainly not. So this is 5 plays 6, isn't it? Super Kings versus the Washington Freedom. That's all to play for. Who wants it more? Who's more keen to get the 2 points? You think about Mitch Owen wanting to go big and bash it everywhere. You've got to be so precise. Uh-oh. What a good catch. Is that De Silva? That was his catch. It was a beauty. Smith. Smith can play, and Ravindra, quality. That almost went to hand, but it was always going away. Think about these two getting going and smashing it and bashing it. Now the key, that all of a sudden you lose Ravindra and now Smith towards the halfway stage. Oh, freaky.
Wouldn't have thought 165 would be enough. But I tell you what, Super Kings, after those 2 wickets in quick succession, they'll believe again and again. Remember, playoff hopes on the line. The Super Kings, they lose, and they won't be joining us in Oakland. The Freedom, well, they have another game after this, but this will help them massively in their charge towards the Final Four. It's the hero from the Freedoms matchup against the Texas Super Kings in Oakland, Nikhil Chaudhary. And he's off the mark straight away with an elegant boundary.
Nikhil Chaudhary to the 4. Let's see what he can do here. This is a big chance for him. Show his wares again. That's what, in a way, Captain Steve Smith should have done. But he was in between, just in between, whether to go up and over or maybe just keep it into a gap. But he couldn't, perished.
Another good over for the Texas Super Kings. Just 6 runs from it and the wicket of the captain. 10 overs gone, 88 for 3. Washington will believe in a chase. Still have the second best record in chases in Cognizant MLC due to Washington Freedom. Take a look there. Like you said, Danny, 5 versus 6 in a class trying to climb up the rungs of the leaderboard.
A little bit for leg. Leg stump.
Bit of desperation for the Super Kings on this Lexus team standings. Like we said, they need this win to get to 8 and give themselves a sniff.
Yeah, simple fact, they've got to win. They must win here, this match here, number 27 of Cognizant MLC, season 4, and get the 2 points. Then they're equal with the Freedom. But they're certainly running out of game time. Those in yellow.
Umshi De Silva starting out over number 11. But Abhimanyu Lamba, we talked about it, change of pace and just picked him out. Could have put it anywhere he wanted to, Steve Smith, and just end up finding the hands a backward point.
Yeah, Riley Rousseau, he's got good mitts. Very good fielder in that position. He'll be absolutely fuming in the dressing room, old Smith now.
And this is a situation you want Umshi De Silva in as well. He's a lightning rod. Things seem to happen when he's near the ball, Danny.
100%, man. I mean, he loves it. And so when I think about Yorkers, does execute a good Yorker. Short in stature, skiddy fellow. Then he uses the crease well, those subtle changes of pace that we're all on about. Quick bowlers have to have in T20 nowadays. You're right, he's just one of those guys that seems to get wickets at crucial moments in the contest and gets valuable wickets of good players, halts proceedings and changes the course of a contest.
We've seen it in minor league cricket for De Silva as well. A strike rate just a touch over 17 this past year for Kings 11 Dallas, primarily operating in Grand Prairie. I want that one back. This is going to be a no ball, and Nikhil Chaudhary's been hit flush. That one's going to hurt, no question.
Oh, he's missed a full one, has he? Let's have a look at this. I lost it a bit. Yes. Oh, nice. The base of the rib cage. That's going to tickle a little bit, Chief. Chowders, you've got to hit those, Chief. Not miss them. Ouch. Oh dear. And maybe a bit of cold spray onto it. Nice bruise there. Tomorrow. Yeah, know how that feels. It's a little uncomfortable, for sure.
Here are the wickets to this point. And this is Umshi De Silva. We talked about the lightning rod. And then 2 in quick succession. Donovan Pereira underneath 1, and then Lamba gets his man. Again, those last 2, those are the keys. Those are the turning points in the contest. Then when you look at the Freedom, there's no reason to really panic yet. 75 from 57, still very doable with this lineup.
Well, the annoying thing for the Freedom is that they've lost the top three, particularly Smith, who was set and going, and Ravindra too. Look at that, a strike rate of 200. He faced a dozen and got 24. It was a frustrating time to get out for Ravindra. Now you've got responsibility. Two new men at the crease, batting at 4 and 5 respectively. You've got Malanta to come in. Of course, he's key for them too. But yeah, catches during the season. Rousseau, no surprises there. The flying Stephen Smith, put a cape on him. Yeah, Mugako like that. Was here earlier in the season. And Faf, wow, how often have we seen this over the years? And Holland, well, he couldn't get out the way, really. Good reaction. And Hamilton was a goodie as well. Yeah. No wonder they've made the locker.
The free hit delivery won't result in a boundary. Just the one run down the ground, but good to see Chowdhury up and about.
Almost dented his pride and ego, really. Should have hit that, shouldn't he? Smashed into your lower rib. It was on the way down as well. Very annoying. I'd like to have smacked that over mid-wicket and out of the ballpark.
How close is this? How close is this? The finger is up from Rushain Samuels. And House wants a look.
Leslie to Ajay, we have a player review for LBW. The original decision is out. It's a fair delivery. Can you move on to front arm, please? Here comes front on. It doesn't appear to be any bat involved. I'll need Ultra Edge to confirm if there is. Just standing by on Ultra Edge, Rashane. Here comes Ultra Edge. Forward. Slight gap on the left-hand side. Flat line on Ultra Edge. There is no bat involved. Can you move on to ball tracking when available, please? Original decision out. Pitching in line. Impact in line. Wickets missing. The review is retained. Back on field to Rashane. Rashane, I'll have to ask you to overturn your out decision to not out your on screen. Make your signal.
Not out. You could see leg stump on impact, and that was really the key factor of why that wasn't going to be given. We talked about it, lightning rod creates questions, doesn't he, Amshi De Silva?
Excitable young fellow, and I can understand why. Sure, you're going to go up for that. Just tailed a little bit. Just enough to be slipping down the leg side, but yeah, big key moment because it's Andres Gous, who was a huge wicket in this contest.
Again tailing in, this time clipped away. Will be one. Close of 11. It's 93 for 3.
Yeah, it's the tricky thing when you've got two new batters, have to restart because you've lost two set batters. It really is a difficult task then in conditions that are slightly challenging because of the slow nature of the surface. 165, whilst it seems easy, you lose one, you can lose two, you can lose 3 wickets in a clump.
Everyone's up and about now. Danny, I think at one point before we got on, before that 9th over, everyone would have thought, this one's going to just run away from the Super Kings. But last couple of overs have really turned things around. Beautiful, this Grand Prairie Stadium and the surrounding sceneries. Unbelievable. Beautiful timing from Andres Gous. He's so good in that region.
Well, a couple of South Africans locking horns. I know Gous plays for the USA now, but Forrester, he's got a challenge on here. Pace off, but he is bowling with the breeze behind his back. And Gous, who knows these conditions well because of the breeze, that is a great area for him because the wind has helped take that and run away very quickly here behind point. So Forrester needs to be on the button here, like that, for TSK, because they need another wicket here. Either will do. Both very dangerous players, but yeah, there's that breeze. It just started to pick up. It often gusts here at Grand Prairie, but challenging for our camera ops. Breeze comes humming through there, and it sort of just dies off a bit.
Another one straight to Riley Rousseau. Could you believe it? This time it's Andres Gous.
Yeah, that's that area. Batters love to go there. Smith and Gous have gone there because it's one of their favoured strokes. But you've got to keep it on the ground, gentlemen, or go up and over. Back yourself to go high. But because this is a slow surface, the bounce isn't always there. Oh, picked out Rousseau. He didn't have to move a muscle. Yeah, might be fuming with himself, and he hit it well. But don't give the opposition the chance. Has done. Gous didn't make double figures. Out for 9, and the Freedom now lose their 4th at 97.
Left-hander Lahiru Malanta comes out. And it's a very important stage of this game, Danny. This game has turned and it's back even.
Yeah, I'd agree with that because you've just lost 2 very key players, Smith and Gous together. Now you've got a new batter. Malanta's in. Chowdhury. Mentioned there, lose 1, 2, and 3. There you go. 3 wickets for 33.
We've talked so much about that Seattle Orcas contest yesterday and that big partnership between Britsky and Seifert. When they got out, there was just 36 runs left to get from 25 deliveries, and the Orcas failed to do so because wickets fell quickly after. And we're seeing this happen again. It's almost an action replay of 24 hours ago.
Yeah, the ball gets a little older and softer quite quickly. Such a coarse, shaved 22 yards. And the smarts of the bowlers too, just working things out, and the bowlers will tell you they quite like an old ball just to hold on to bowl those changes of pace, cutters and things. So now, yeah, they're asking, well, it's now hovering just over 8s. It was under 8s, but now, yeah, key wickets make a big difference.
It's nervous times out in the crowd and in the dugouts. 67 from 49. And new batters out in the middle. Never a good recipe for a batting side. 99 for 4 at the close of 12.
Just unbelievably close. You wouldn't believe how tight it is. Critical that both of these sides find a win. All coming down to this. Here's our Lexus team standings. There is still that possibility, the craziest scenario you could imagine. All the sides end up on 10 points apiece. 4 results would have to go in certain directions. And this one is starting to get a little tight. As Lamba's going to continue for his 3rd. Got the company of Robin Utsapa. Robin, the game hangs a bit on a knife edge yet again.
That is the way of the MLC, isn't it? So another game that I think will go down to the wire. But Abhimanyu Lamba is a very impressive bowler. Even today, 2.2 overs, 1 for 16. He's clever. He's not the quickest in the shed, but he's very good, very accurate, great variations. So suddenly there's value for the medium pacer in cricket again.
And definite indications that this surface continues to react to the pace being taken off it. You're getting good reward as a seamer, off cutter, leg cutter, forcing the batter to put the pace onto the ball. The two innings somewhat mirroring each other as the 100 comes up.
Yeah, it's been up and down, hasn't it? And a lot will depend on this man on screen right now. Milanta, who's actually done pretty well in the previous game. And Chaudhary, who's at the other end, who's actually helped the Freedom to win a few games with both bat and ball.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of batting still to come. Janssen, Dwarshuis, Obus Pinar, even Ian Holland capable at number 10. Pace off, chopped on. The Super Kings just don't know when they're beaten. And it's another big moment in the contest.
Yeah, he's done it again. Abhimanyu Lamba gets a 2nd wicket. Again, pace off. Using the cutters exceptionally well. Held in the wicket. Chopped it back on. Gets another one. Back in the game are the Super Kings. Milantha goes for 1. 100 for 5.
Batsman in, fellas, right hand.
What a few days we are having in the most incredible of Cognizant MLC seasons. Every single match, just when you think it's going one way, it twists and turns the other. Here's Obus Pinar at number 7. And that batting depth that the Freedom certainly have is going to be tested now. Haven't really seen anyone, barring maybe Rachin Ravindra, come to the crease and score fluently right from the off. Somebody's going to need to. Is that required run rate up to 9s now? Again, pace off. They've read the conditions so well here on their home ground, the Texas Super Kings. Another cutter, another change-up.
Such clever bowling this. He's keeping it really simple, very basic, to be very honest. Like, I know this wicket's holding, so let me make it even more difficult for the batters. Just bowling cutters and keep it within the line of the stumps. Yeah, disappointed, Milanta.
Goes to the leg cutter again. The field is set perfectly. What an over. 1 run from it. It's 100 for 5. There is something about sides in yellow. You'll know it so well from your IPL days. Just always fight, don't they? Always scrap. Never know that they're behind.
Yeah, it's one of those things about the Super Kings that don't kind of give up right at the end. You keep trying, you keep trying, you keep trying. Hope that something gives.
Not the exact same as the first innings, but in some ways the two innings replicating each other. Freedom are looking so good at the 79 for 1, the Super Kings so good at 93 for none. But since then the bowlers have adjusted and adapted and changed the game. And these seamers taking the pace off seem to be getting good reward.
Now let's look at the common thread here. Denny, the common thread here is that the batters who get set are able to score runs. But the new batters who are coming in a bat are looking to keep the same tempo while they come in a bat. And that's not going to be possible on a wicket like this. You really want to get in first. So you only look to rotate the strike, get the odd boundary. So you need to take calculated risks, and you can't take a risk from the word go. You need to give yourself that time to just set yourself up, to give yourself the best chance to be able to score runs. And both teams, once the set batters got out, they've not tried to do that.
So as a consequence, what you're advocating for here is rather than go hard early in this partnership, you've got to get 5, 6, 7 balls at the crease, adjust.
Give yourself a chance. And because this wicket and the conditions demand that. The conditions are going to dictate how you're supposed to be playing on that particular wicket, whether it's as a bowler or a batter, right? So you've got to understand what are your short options on this wicket. Where have the runs been scored so far on this wicket as well? And if you look at the batters who've scored runs, they've scored runs either in the V or they've scored runs with the pull shot or the cut shot. So those are your run scoring shots. Then that means the ball's sitting up on this wicket a little bit. So you want to set yourself up more to play on the back foot, but if it pitches up, you have the freedom to go through the line. And you haven't seen that with the batters today, outside of the ones who've actually gotten set and gotten out already.
Great effort, Riley Rousseau. Already taken one catch there, backward point. Not sure if this quite carried, certainly run save, no doubt about that. Again, all the pace taken off. Oh, just short. Magnificent effort to save 3. Another good diving stop. Super Kings have been brought to life here.
Yeah, good fielding this from the Super Kings. Applying themselves, adding the pressure. Adding dot balls there. Freedom already have played 35 dot balls compared to Super Kings 34. That tells you a story.
Never intending to put pace on at any point of that over, Forrester. And 4 singles come from it. Another good one for the men in yellow, 104 for 5. See all those dots there at the bottom of your screen. Other big factor in the differential between the sides, 10 sixes in the first innings for the Super Kings, just 2 so far for the Freedom. The vast majority of those 6s came from Saiteja Mukamala and Faf du Plessis up at the top for the Super Kings. And the ball was hard and the pitch was new. I think one other factor as well, Robin, which is definitely good to note, as opposed to our first leg here at Dallas. We've seen all of the numbers, the scores trending lower, the side batting first, defending many totals and winning, whereas in our first leg it was the other way around. It's the pressure, isn't it? It's the pressure of the dynamic of where that table is at right now.
Yeah, to a large degree, of course. And also the wickets play such a big role in how cricket's played, right? It almost feels like when we were here during the first leg, it was a little cooler, and so the wickets had a little bit more time to be prepared, and so the wickets weren't drying out as much. But now it feels like it's much warmer, so to prepare a good batting track becomes that much more harder. So kind of even stevens up the game a little bit, which is what we're seeing at the moment.
It's the final of the 4-over allocation for Akil Hussain. He's been excellent again, called back into the side. Like this move from du Plessis to bowl at this over. Can he get one more for them?
Another thing that's been surprising about the Super Kings also is how haven't they played this man, Akil Hussain, throughout this league?
Come on, Akil. Come on, Akil.
The caliber of him sitting down, irrespective of what kind of wicket you're playing on, you want a bowler of his caliber in your ranks at all points in time. They have missed a couple of tricks during this season of the Super Kings.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that, Robin. And that's the reason they're in the position they're in. That's the reason they need to win their last two. Spinner of his quality too. Only made 3 appearances this season. Remember, after he took that hat-trick, I know there was the dismay of having the final ball hit for 6. He was left out. Hasn't played since till today. Extraordinary. Oh, he's bowled this slower on purpose. Brave cricket.
Yeah. Explain that to us, right? Like, after you've gotten a hat-trick and almost won a game for your team single-handedly, don't get picked. So it's confusing sometimes.
And even more so because they lost the game. It's exactly the time you want to back your player and say, yes, the last ball went for 6. Yes, you're a little unlucky.
No, I don't think he was left out because of that. I think he was left out more from a maybe conditions and matchups perspective. And I reckon that's my argument, right? My argument is that irrespective of what the matchups are, irrespective of what the conditions are, you want a player like Akil Hussain playing in the 11 on all points in time, because he's one of the best bowlers in the world right now as far as left arm spin's concerned.
Yeah, fully agree. Speaks volumes about his character as well, that he's able to be left out for such an extended period and come back and perform in the way in which he has today with his bowling. Love a 3rd wicket next to his name. Final delivery now of a spell. Oh, so nearly has it. 4 overs, 2 for 26. Excellent from Hussain. It's 107 for 5. One of the few spinners we've seen bowl with any success from this end. It shows how much control that Akil Hussain has. That required run rates, it's not quite out of hand yet for the Freedom. Starting to escalate to a very difficult position. The best part of 2 runs required per ball now. The Super Kings will have to plot who's going to bowl in their 5 final overs. They do have plenty of options. You'd imagine Forrester will bowl this one, the 16th, Robin, who then bowls the remaining 4. Milne, banker for 2 of them.
Yeah, Milner, and you probably also have Lumber, so use him because he's bowling really well. And then De Silva.
Yeah, I suppose that 1 over of Ferreira just gives that flexibility. Cleans him up. And again, it's the cutters that have worked. The required run rate was escalating the pressure just as we talked about it, spiking towards 2 a ball. Ferreira keeps it simple. Excuse me, Forrester keeps it simple, gets the reward.
Yeah, not the greatest shot from Nikhil Chaudhary. Would have liked him to trust his skills to hit the ball down the ground. He gets one now. Forrester gets his 2nd wicket. And CS, I beg your pardon again, TSK are well and truly ahead.
Said he was having some cramps, but
Huge concern. Glenn Maxwell out of the side, Ricky Ponting, the head coach. And remember, the Freedom are the bankers, always in the playoffs through all 3 seasons of Cognizant MLC. They're going to need something special from this lower middle order. Ben Dwarshuis, the latest to the crease, very capable of hitting a big ball. He's going to need to. It's over 2 runs required per ball now. Required run rate spikes over 12s. He's kept it so simple, Forrester, and just proven too good.
And cross-seam delivery, this one. And there's a little bit of a nothing shot. Got to get your body in the line when you're playing that shot. When it comes off, it looks really good. And so much dependent on you as a batter. Nikhil Chaudhary, who's done well for them. Let's plug this into the gap. And get a 4. Cautious. Boundary off the second ball. Slower outside the off stump this ball was. Didn't cut it or anything of that sort, but just delivered it slower. Was able to plug it in that gap there between point and sweeper cover.
Yeah, and if Amshi De Silva can't cut it off, no one can. That's how quick he is. And they're going to change the field as a consequence. They'll bring up the man on the leg side from deep square leg, and they'll plug that exact gap where the ball just went. So 3 men in the deep now on the offside. We'll go to one of them for just a single. Mulder on as the substitutes. There is still the firepower for the Freedom to get there. You're going to have to target the 2 overs that remain from the other end. Hitting down towards our commentary position, the bottom of your screen there. Janssen hits a very big ball. Dwarshuis hits a big ball, and Pinar is known as a finisher within American domestic cricket. He's done it again and again in minor league and major league. They need something to change quickly here.
Yeah, so they still have Janssen in the shed, which is quite confusing as to why he hasn't come ahead of Dwarshuis at least.
And I just wonder, are they thinking about their right hand, left hand aspect? Not saying necessarily agree with it. Just be a single to round out another wicket taking over. Forrester, exceptional figures. 4 overs, 2 for 28 for him. Freedom, 114 for 6.
Well, his low totals here just in the last couple of days proving challenging. 165. Thought, look out, will it be enough? And you've got Dwarshuis, who's no slouch. He's fairly useful, and Pinar as well. Good players, good all-rounders, but they need 13s. It's ballooned out to that. I was just on moments ago with Aman Patel, and it was just over 8s. Just. Pommy, I know you've been fizzing with the football in the backdrop too, and so have I. I've loved it. Bouncing between screens. Sad about Norway.
Daniel. That's 6. That is well hit. Dwarshuis saying, hold on, this one's not done yet. Absolutely smokes that.
Hey. And he has to just clear the boundary cushion. constitutes. Thank you, Rashain Samuels. Much needed. So 8 from 2. All of a sudden, that asking was at 13.2. It just drops back to 12s. 2 a ball. Not impossible. See if these two can hang around now for the next 2.5 overs. Yeah, Obus Pinar. Can be a bit of a tongue twister at times. You're getting a little animated. Well, he's actually gobbled up a few deliveries just quietly. He's had a dozen for 3. So he needs to hang around.
Yeah, normally able to whack it. Just like that. Also selected the right end to go at rather than fighting the elements. Works with them. And suddenly the game's back on.
Yeah, it was a sweet stroke. And spot on, Pom, heading with the breeze. Perfect. Yeah, that wind would have nicely just carried that a bit further. It's one of the smaller pockets here at the Grand Prairie, heading back onto that eastern side. Some bigger regions to try and take on and the breeze, so that's the challenge. Got to have the smarts here. We've got a long on, got the straight mid-wicket on the fence, square leg on the fence, fine leg up. So that's those 3 men patrolling that onside to the right of your screen there. And then you pull out on the left here, and that's the bigger side. You can see there's all that real estate and the wind in the favour of the bowlers. I want one, gonna hit. Whee! Good try.
Yeah, looking to try and pierce the gap there. Hits it well enough, but doesn't get it past the fielder. Takes his arm on, have to. The back end here as they try and hustle. His partnership's really good, despite the fact that Pinar's being Pac-Man. Shot again in the slot, that'll go out the ground. That ends the over really nicely for the Freedom. 22 off that one. 136 for 6.
Into that zone. Afraid not, bowlers. Stalumba. Yeah, you get anywhere near that region, you're going to disappear every afternoon.
And evening.
It's getting there, isn't it? But the sun, they're racing away. It's pleasing Ricky Ponting, head coach of the Washington Freedom. So we're down to a 30 from 18. It's come all the way back very quickly from 13s down to bang on 10 required. And we're going to have Adam Milne. So he's been miserly in his first 2. Only gone for 8. So he's got 2 left, so he can bowl this, the 18th and 20th, if needed. What else we got? The Silver, yeah, Yorker specialist. I like that. That's up the sleeve there for Faf du Plessis. Starts with a change of pace. Oh, and they get one there. Don't know about that, but mind you, if he'd got that a bit sweeter, could have been 4. Coaches on the edge of their seats. Not this man. Mellow yellow as ever. Stephen Fleming.
Yeah, on the surface. Only on the surface. Doesn't matter how cool they are and how long they've been out there, and get into these situations and just about everybody's nervous. We really don't know which way it'll go. Think of the couple of games before, 3 games before.
Geez, he gets a lot belted back in him, does Adam Milne. Think of a caught and bowl he took here in the first leg. Wow. I think he's all right, but man, that came back at a rate of knots.
He just overbalances and then off it goes down. And whoa, that is close. Nicely bowled. That was close. That could have hit him in the back. Been very sore.
Putting your body on the line. Absolutely.
He didn't intend to roll over like that.
Rolling in the trenches. Ouch. Oh, we've seen it already. Chowdhury missed one that he should have belted. It was a full toss from De Silva. Hit him in the lower part of the ribs. That'll always make you smirk. Not.
Yeah, exciting here as we get to this phase because every ball it kind of swings. Yeah, so one ball you're thinking if he hits a boundary, then it suddenly shifts with the number of deliveries required and the chunk it takes out of the number of runs you need. 26 from 14 is the equation, and one can disappear out the ground. Yeah, and with Adam Milne bowling, generally many of those remotely speeded deliveries, but expect that he'll change his pace quite a bit, especially with the wind at the leg side.
I'm sorry to chuckle, but man, that's extraordinary. You go into that sort of stroke and then almost play it onto your stumps and still get away with it, and it goes for a single. At the moment, you want Dorcius on strike, and that's what Pinar's trying to do. Just about every ball, he goes, mate, you're hitting it sweet. Take over, please. The entanglement. Nutmegs himself off the back of the blade. Bizarre. Yeah, that's right, hun. I'm with you. The new stroke, they're saying. Did he get all of it? Yeah, enough. Oh, he did get enough of it. Dorcius. That's a ripper. It's gone straight. 9 off the 18th. It's 145 for 6 here.
Yeah, looking for that wide line, force him to hit offside, but doesn't hit his mark. And also doesn't quite have this fielder set correctly. Want him to have to run to the right because that's the bigger side. It's where the wind's blowing from. Anyhow, that goes for 4 and look to bottom right. 21 from 12.
So, 21 off a dozen. They'll know this is going either way. A wicket right now, particularly Dorcius, but he's not on strike. This is Obispina. He's going to be up against De Silva. Namshi De Silva bowls good Yorkers. Can he get it right here for the Texas Super Kings? Not so that one. Oh, pressure on. Yeah, 4, it's raced away. Forrester couldn't get there.
What a shot. You miss your mark and you're gonna get absolutely hammered. That's right in the slot. It's a fabulous shot because it hits it all along the ground. Yeah, 17 from 11. Might have gone now from a perspective of trying to defend it. Probably more now about trying to get people out. He does bowl really good Yorkers, Namshi De Silva. Has changes of pace, everything. Got a bumper as well.
Watch, watch. Oh, the wind. And the sunglasses, though. Well played, young man. You've got to have those on. There's experience for you. Is that Mukamala? Huh? Ranjani, we'll get there in the end, folks. Don't worry. We'll pick him out, because I tell you what, this is a very good catch. Yeah, because it's dipping on him, but he's wearing the sunglasses looking back into the setting sun. And you're right, Pommy, need to get people out, and they've right on cue done that. And Pina, who can be very dangerous, just hit a 4, just hit a 6. He's out of here for 16, and they lose their 7th at 149. Marco Jansen, another good striker. Clean shaven there. Very clean. So, we've got De Silva, who's a skitty wee fellow, good Yorker exponent against the very tall right-hander. So surely you've got to be thinking Yorker. That backlift pickup, and it's got to come a long way down. Looks like he's using a kid's Harrow bat. Yeah, went for it. It's a beauty, but well played, I reckon. Yeah, Jan Silverton knew it was coming.
A look at the wicket, entice him into trying to go onto that side. He's a bit straighter, managed to hit it for 4 along the ground. That shows quite nicely. You see the shade behind him, the fact that the sun is setting to the west and he's facing that way. So he's got to judge it to perfection, use the peak of his cap as well as his glasses, and then take it. Also the pressure of the situation puts them back into it somewhat. It's still heavily, I say, weighted towards the freedom.
Come on to Silva then, Pommy. Here we are. And he followed him. Oh, and he got a hand. He's furious with himself as De Silva. He wanted to stop that, but it was a very good effort in his follow-through.
Like him, he's a champion. Young player. Those fast hitch fibers all over the place as far as fielding is concerned. Running everywhere, cutting things off, taking catches. And here's Ben Dorshus, who's been fantastic. It looked like it was gone, like they'd messed it up. And he's come in and he's 29 from 13. He's got a partner in Marco Jansen.
De Silva. Oh, the old French cut. Take 4 and be happy, Marco Jansen. Suddenly that equation comes peeling back to 11 now from 7 with the boundary, and there's still 1 to go here.
They'll take them however they come, the freedom, but he feels he's unlucky here because on another day that drags back onto the stumps and you hear the death rattle as the batter. That reaction right there tells you everything.
It's to go with the one where Keel got a hat-trick and lost off the last ball. Man, they've lost some tight ones, Texas. Should just be 1. Should be sensible about it. Yeah, just take that and be happy. Means you need 10 off the final over. 156 for 7. Well, it's come down to the final over. Match 27 of Cognizant Major League Cricket in 2026. Both these teams, 5 playing 6. The yellow team, Texas, more desperate because they're 2 points behind the freedom. And it has come down to the final over. 10 required. Milne, with his experience, has the duty of delivering it. And he's up against Marco Janssen, who's only just got out there with a French cut. Men straight at long on and long off. Fine and third are up. Men deep and square on the leg side. Not a bad delivery. Take that. Yeah, they'll be in. Should only be one. Bounce throw is down to 9 from 5.
If wishes were horses.
They're right next door.
They are indeed. What they want, TSK, is Dorsius out. They want him out this ball. They would love for Milne to rip the stumps out the ground. Can't really be into the pitch or anything because his leg side is the smaller side, is the side that is hitting with the wind. It'd be brave to go into it and wider of him. So what there is probably Yorker on the stumps, Yorker wide of the stumps.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like it. I like an off stump Yorker or a wide line one. And he's been moose downtown. Missed his length at Milne, and they're loving it here, the Freedom fans and that dugout.
What a knock this is by Ben Dorsius. What a shot this is. Slow, wide, fetch it, will you? Oh yes, I will, and I'll dispatch it. Yeah, too tight to watch. And he gets it into the sight screen. Yeah, like a stake to the heart for those in yellow.
And again, cricket folks, bowling a Yorker at pace now, under pressure, challenging. Oh, that length there into it. Going to get two. He's got to come back, Janssen. He's got to, and it's good running, but you got to say the fielding. Got to do it, nail it. So yeah, scores are level now. It's 165 each, but there's still 3 balls left. That's what happens when you hit a 6. It makes such a difference. Had to come back. Janssen was out of the blocks, and then Dorsius got the skates on, and the throw wasn't good enough. Real interesting now if the stumps are uprooted by Milne.
Yeah, you take it if you're TSK. Everybody into the circle. Your last chance is to have a super over. Ooh. Got to decide it somehow. But it's the freedom hold. All the cards here now. And you just get one away. Fielder's going back.
Final ball. Oh no.
Oh, got him. Oh, no. Oh, can't believe that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Oh, that just kind of puts the icing on the cake. On the kind of day they've had, the TSK, you might even go the kind of season that they've had. Because look at the delivery. It's a fantastic ball. All sets up quite nicely to a short cover who thinks, right, should I throw? No. And he doesn't, and then Janssen slips as he tries to run back. And the throw doesn't go straight enough. And they can get through for the victory. Drama, drama. As those in yellow fail to get the points. And it's the Freedom who celebrate. Oh my goodness, what a game, what a finish to it.
Well, it's curtains now for Texas. They needed to win this. It means their season's done, really. Dorsius, hero of the moment, 38 from 16. Picks up, slips. Oh, man, you got to catch those or you got to hit the stumps. Softer throw would have been so much better because he slipped. But there's the panic. There's the panic that set in. A lovely little lob throw back because Janssen's ended up on his backside. And they've had a laugh about it now, but it could have been the Keystone Cops calamity there. difference of the dugouts. Those in red. Oh, and there's the other side of the fence. Shake of the head from Fleming. And Texas are done. It shows you, though, the pressure of a situation, but celebration for Freedom fans and family here at Grand Prairie. Washington end up getting home by 3 wickets with a couple of balls to spare. Certainly some good entertainment late afternoon, early evening here at Grand Prairie.
Yeah, handshakes all round. But what it does is it means in that lock jam of the table makes our next match a do or die as well. So, yeah, it's just how we like it. It's come right down to the wire in terms of fixtures. And yeah, lovely for some, not so much for others. What an innings that was by Ben Dorcius. Pulled that out of the fire.
Yeah, I keep saying he's been working on his batting over the years. Ben Dorcius got so much better, so much more confident. Yeah, very happy chappy. So are the coaching staff. Look at them, smiles aplenty, because they got themselves into a bit of a hole, and thanks to Dorcius, he dug them out of it, really. And to go with some of his bowling, 1 for 32 from 4. He's got to be up there as the MVP, close to it, if not. So 166 for 7, with 2 balls to spare and 3 wickets in the bank, have done it. We've got Nikhil Uttamchandani sideline.
Faf, hard luck today. Obviously difficult to be in this position. What are you feeling right now?
Yeah, disappointing. Look, I think first of all we got ourselves into a great batting position, and I thought we batted not great in that last 8 overs. I think we lost 8 wickets for 50 runs. So we felt after halfway we were maybe 15 runs short, but then there was a great fight by the boys, putting a lot of hard work in to take it to the last over. And when you get so close once again, it's the 3rd game now where we take it to the last over, 2 balls to go, and just not being able to finish it off.
Your finishing has been a strength of yours this season with bat in hand. What do you put that collapse down to?
Yeah, just poor decision making. I think on a wicket like that, it's really important to still have your intensity to build a partnership. New guys coming in, it always feels a little bit harder. So as the in-batter, it felt like as soon as you get that partnership going, you could really put the pressure back on. But as soon as we did 6, 7, 8 or 9 balls of putting the partnership back together, a wicket fell. And that happened about 4 times in a row. So it's difficult to get momentum and put the bowlers under pressure. So yeah, definitely lost a bit of runs there.
Anything is still possible. You have a game tomorrow. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Now, I think that says it all, really, the depression for the Texas Super Kings. I think their season's done, though. Dorcius 38 from 16, not out. 2 4s and 3 6s. And if you miss your mark, Dorcius in 2025-26 will do this to you. He's grown in confidence. His ability to bat better has come to the fore.